Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Campaign 2 of Speedrunners and Dragons. This new campaign will feature new players, more daring adventures, and certainly more hijinks. We are ecstatic to kick off this new campaign, and just a few small pieces of bookkeeping before we begin. If you're joining us for the very first time, welcome. We're very happy to have you. And if you're watching on YouTube, enjoy and please subscribe. All episodes of Speedrunners and Dragons get posted on our YouTube channel afterwards, and we're looking to get our YouTube channel, to be the hub of this content at some point. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't already. That's youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. And if you are watching on YouTube, consider catching us live sometime. We're live every other Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern here on twitch.tv/adef. If you're ever curious when the next live episode is going to be, you can always check the description of the most recent episode on our YouTube channel. I always update those to say when the next episode is. Now, allow me to introduce the players. This is so exciting. I have to go into studio mode to make sure I don't spoil anything, so give me just 2 seconds here. I almost went into the Campaign 1 layout. That wouldn't have been excellent. Okay, all right. I'm going to pop out of studio mode. Gamers. Your players, here they are. Unmute, friends, and say hello. Hello, everyone. Fant is throwing money at the screen.
Hello, how's it going?
Yes, so our returning to the world of Speedrunners and Dragons, we have Dangers, Danny B, and the Blacktastic, our boys returning from Campaign 1 with new characters, new excitement, new energy. And joining us for the very first time are Kung Fu Fruit Cup, DGR Dave, and Fant TV. Hello, gamers.
Hello, that's us.
That's you.
Excited to be here.
We're very excited to have all of you. I know I can speak for all the gamers in the chat that, also for me, I have watched all of your streams over the years, and so it is very exciting to have you now a part of something that I'm creating. So thank you for joining me, and I'm very excited to share this world that I've been working on for the past couple of months with you. So these are all remarkable streamers, and I promise following them, you will not regret it. At any time tonight, you can type !follow, and all of their links will come up in chat, and you can follow each and every one of them. They're all amazing content creators. I cannot recommend them enough. And if you're on YouTube, you can go to the description, and all their links are there. What's the last thing? No, I have all that. Okay, great. Well then, without further ado, I'm going to turn the music down a little bit, and it's time to get into that lore dump. That fat lore that I always start with. So gamers, welcome to Campaign 2.
Got my notepad ready.
Got your notepad ready? The test will be soon, so, keep it in here. So I'm going to pop over to the map layout, the illustrious map layout.
Ooh.
I have all kinds of versatile layouts this time.
Oh,
okay.
The transitions. Look at this production
Look at
value.
this.
Oh,
Streamer.
I
love it.
The
Season
stream
2,
value.
y'all.
Season
Off
2.
the
Professional.
chart.
Okay, so
good.
Campaign 2 of Speedrunners and Dragons. Are you ready? In the middle of
Never
the
been more
great...
ready.
Never been more ready, that's excellent. In the middle of the great Liseptian Ocean, a land abandoned by the gods, lay 4 nations, each separated by water. In the center of all 4 nations lay a lone island of great military and naval significance called Zethus. The 4 have fought over this mysterious island for each other's land, seemingly ad nauseum. One of the nations, the kingdom of Soule, was once a great seat of power in the world. Under the great queen Stephania I, the reach of Soule grew to encompass all 3 of its neighbors. Stephania I practiced a gentle rule, and people of each nation grew to love her. In time, and in a gesture of good faith, she wed a man from Kastash, one of those foreign lands. King Cyril came to be a well-respected man, and as the stories go, he truly loved his new wife. He adored and worshipped her. Her beauty and power were that of legend. The queen and the king tried for many years to conceive an heir, but with no luck. Miraculously, however, eventually the queen was pregnant. Cyril doubted it was his. He grew suspicious, curt, envious, and vile. He began to disrespect his servants and his guards. He never confronted his wife, however. His respect for Stephania I ran deep within his veins. He truly loved her. Not once did he tell her that he suspected her. He searched long in secret for the man he believed to be the secret lover. Running out of reputable contacts and any supposed witnesses, Cyril called upon the long-absent gods. He yelled out one night into the calm air for assistance and justice at the hands of the gods. To his surprise, his call was answered. Eurelion, chief of the gods, visited King Cyril that night in his chambers in the heart of the capital city of Salstroke, Velerhent. He offered Cyril a deal. He would reveal the father of the child, but only on the day the child was born. Additionally, that very same man would die just after the birth. Cyril smirked and signed off on the deal, finding the terms quite agreeable indeed. On the day the child was born, Cyril stood by his wife's side, supporting her and eagerly awaiting the moment in which he could finally confront the man who made him such a fool. As Stefania gave the final push and the child was welcomed into the world, the midwife showed the child to Cyril, and he saw his fate. His daughter bore his nose, his eyes, and his hair. As Cyril's heart sunk into his chest, he felt both great grief at his misgivings, but also the utter elation and joy of becoming a father. In that very same moment, a guard approached Cyril. As the king looked up at the man, he saw the face of Eurelion, disguised as a human. The guard slit Cyril's throat and jumped out the window. Word spread fast, and Cyril's parents launched an attack against the kingdom of Salstroke, believing Stefania to have ordered the killing. Thus began the rebellion against Salstroke, and ultimately the war which would change these nations forever. By the time that the young Stefania II, Cyril's daughter, was of age to rule, the war was in full swing. All four nations had formed various alliances and engaged in countless battles. Not long after losing her own husband in the war, Queen Stefania II discovered her father's diary. Cyril's diary revealed everything about Eurelion and the deal that they had struck, but by now it was too late. Alliances had been broken, and the war was scarce about the death of one man now. It was about the death of friends, of family, of your countrymen. Stefania II swore vengeance against the gods, and worked to convince her allies of the same. She wanted to convince them that the conflict was not about man versus man, but about man versus God. Her family continued this quest long after her death. It was not until the rule of her granddaughter, Katya I, that all four nations were in allegiance against the gods. Salstroke, Kastash, Dwome, and Releron, their combined naval forces at the ready, set sail for Terrell, the domain of the gods. It was a bloodbath. Few who were there and managed to return ever speak of what they witnessed that day. Many were killed in the combined forces of the mortals. But there was one, Getsthen, a warrior from Releron, who managed to cause the one and only casualty on the side of the gods. Eurenith, the only son of Eurelion. In open combat and for revenge for the deaths of his friends, Getsthen cut off Eurenith's head with his chiefest blade. Ultimately, the gods won the day. After the death of his son, Eurelion supposedly ended the battle by himself. The defeated mortals turned and sailed home, defeated. In retaliation for this insurrection against them, and for the death of Eurenith, the gods constructed a wall in the middle of the ocean around Zethus and decreed that every year, each nation must present an offering in the form of a person, 15 years of age, who would sail to Zethus. The offerings are never heard from again, and what becomes of them, no one knows. Now, 30 years after the first set of offerings were sent, the tradition continues for fear of the gods' wrath. Since 30 sets of offerings have been sent, 120 young people have been lost to an unknown fate, with representatives having been chosen from every race by now. The kingdoms, though not at war, do not hold such an alliance as that which they once held against the gods. They merely continue to pick up the pieces that were broken on that day in Terrell. Our story begins in the nation of Kastash, the storied birthplace of King Cyril that lay just north of Salstroke. The summer solstice is a month away, and that's the day in which offerings are sent to Zethus from each nation. Far to the west of the Kastash Mountains, deep within the Giant's Wood, lay Freetown. This riffraff town, which states itself separate from the Kastash kingdom, is filled with all manner of free folk. Now, we go to the main streets of Freetown. The main street of Freetown, even. And we see a wood elf in odd, tattered garb, accompanied by a young human man and a sly-looking tabaxi. So if perhaps we'll start with Danny, if you'd like to take a moment to just sort of explain just the physical appearance of your character.
Sure. So I'm a wood elf. I am normal human height. I'm 5'10", pretty slender as elves tend to be. I am 250 years old, which is on the young side of middle age for an elf. I've got green eyes. I've got kind of dark brown-green skin. I was born and raised in the woods, and so I sort of took on their appearance a little bit.
And so, what sort of like what garbs do you wear? You know, what's your general energy around?
So I'm a monk, so I'm generally pretty reserved. I'm a little bit awkward. I don't know how to talk to people. And I just wear monk's robes. Very simple. I am unarmored. I don't believe in armor.
Sure. And Dave, what sort of does your character look like?
Did you say me? I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
So I am a human, so I'm probably very easy to describe. I just look like someone you'd be seeing walking down the street. Pretty much average Joe. Nothing that stands out one way or another. I am wearing leather armor.
And you got a nice great sword, right? Or is it a long sword?
I have a long sword, and it is very important to me.
Excellent. And Fu, what sort of does your character look like?
I'm about 4'3", and I'm 20. Tabaxis live about the same age as humans, so on the younger side. I basically look like a tall for a cat, bipedal cat. I have orange eyes, and I have kind of like a dark grayish brown fur. So if you ever see a cat running around in the background, it's very similar color, which he literally just started in and out. I don't have much in terms of clothing, mostly just some leather armor.
Sure.
And my fur isn't always dark brownish grayish. It often changes, or at least parts of my fur will change according to the season every day, based on my background growing up in the jungle.
Very nice. So, you know, the three of you have just come from a long journey to make it to Kastash. So, you know, you might be looking for a place to rest your weary bones after this long travel. And, you know, so you're sort of walking through Main Street of Kastash, and a man approaches you, and he appears to be wearing just like very normal clothing. He looks like he might be a farmer, and he says, travelers from far away. It's very nice to meet all of you. What brings you to Freetown? Oh, you're muted, Danny. The classic. Danny's muted. The classic.
The classic.
First one of the
was
campaign.
rolling around. Yeah. So I had a dream that I was supposed to come here. I don't really know.
A dream, you say? It's very interesting. I kind of just tend to my crops. You know, that's my dream, is to have. So, do you mean like an aspiration or like a sleep dream?
No, yeah, I was meditating and
meditating.
Yeah, I'm a monk, and I saw
Okay.
I saw some people, and I think I'm supposed to come here to meet them. Again, I'm not really sure.
Are these the folk around you, or?
No, I was dreaming about them too. I dream about a lot of people lately.
Oh?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just here because I have a vague idea that I'm supposed to be here. And it
All
worked out
right.
with these guys, so, you know.
Great. And you two just kind of, or you're just
Yeah,
going
I'm
along with
actually
this?
very intrigued by your farming. What do you,
okay.
as a former farmer myself,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I would love to hear, you know, what are you growing?
Mostly barley and just like various grains. I'm sort of trying to looking into home brewing, you know, making my own ale maybe. I'm thinking that might be like a big thing. I'm single. Anyone? No? Okay. Single guy, just trying to make his way in the world. I actually gotta go. I'm gonna go. Is that okay? I'm gonna go. Is that okay with you guys?
Sure. If,
Yeah,
you know,
thanks.
if you were people, where would you go?
I am person. And I'm just around here, but if you're looking for somebody in specific, Main Street's kind of the place, so.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant. Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like I've been anti-helpful, but I'm not sure why. I'm gonna go home and maybe just like go to sleep. See you guys. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah,
and he
thanks.
just sort of walks away, and
Appreciate
he's like confused. He's not sure what to make of this conversation he just had. And so, you know, maybe the three of you, are sort of proceeding down Main Street, and suddenly a bar door bursts open. There's like this tavern, and the door just poof, bursts open, and this dwarf with a bow on his back just rolls out of the door, and sort of catches himself, and then out of the doorway, you see two large mugs, and the dwarf sort of like skillfully dodges the two mugs, and they shatter near him, and you just hear this voice as this like sort of tall human man sort of steps out from the doorway, and he says, "And stay out. I've told you plenty of times, Danith Lightbeard, if you've got problems, you've got to deal with them on your own. That's the Freetown way. Only reason I let you back into my bar is because I respect your family. Your parents are great people. Now get lost."
I look at this guy, and my sixth sense is going haywire, and I just run right up to him, and I'm like, You're the man of my dreams.
Excuse me?
Have
we met before?
The man in my dreams? I dreamt about you.
This is a little bit of a shock to me, coming in. What's your name?
Hey, yeah, I came on a little strong. I'm Veral. Nice to meet you.
Veral, Danith. Hello. No, I don't. I'm not one for this dream mumbo jumbo here. I mean, you got some explaining to do, buddy.
Yeah. So, hi, these are my friends. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves too?
Hello, I'm Alencia. It's nice to meet you.
Alencia, pleasure.
And I am Jader Barkov. Nice to meet you.
Jader Barkov. Name's Danith Lightbeard. Pleasure to meet you all.
So, yeah, I didn't know these guys before a couple of weeks ago, but I had a dream about some really important people, and they decided to come along with me to find the other important people. I'm pretty sure you're one of the important people. You seem important.
I am pretty important, but I'm not sure
I agree.
You intend. But I'll be honest here. I was coming here to this bar for help, and
well, what do you need?
Had a whole bunch of incidents back up in my hometown, and nobody seems to want to help me. Just everybody kicks me out and just leaves me out to dry. But I'm not sure I'm the person you're looking for, but I could maybe test this out, and if you want to come along with me to help take care of a problem I have a little bit to the north here, maybe just maybe I'll stick around.
It seems that we all have something that we need, so if you're willing to help us, perhaps we'd be willing to help you.
My ears are open.
So, as you're sort of discussing this very thin man, like exceptionally thin human man, is walking through the streets, and he's like waving a flyer in his hands, and he's like, "You've never heard any like him. This half-elf and his guitar are must-see. They are the must-see act in Freetown tonight, everybody, okay?" He's like walking around shaking this flyer to and fro. "Take Old Cobble Road east to the first hill and watch a traveler from afar in Sawstroke play guitar. My God, he's gonna blow you away. Local vendors have set up food too, okay?"
I mentioned to my friends, in my dream there was a guitar playing in the background. I didn't get a good look at the guy, but there was some really nice guitar music in that dream, and maybe it's worth checking this guy out too.
I love music. I'd love to check it out.
And you guys are also, the three of you are hungry from your long travel as well. So
Yeah,
the thought of food,
famished.
Yeah.
Well, it smells good. Might as well.
This will get you guys to come with me later. I guess I have no choice.
So following this guy's instructions, you walk down Main Street for a bit, and then there's a street sign, painted on some old wood that says Old Cobble Road. And taking it eastward, you sort of walk for a bit, and then you wind up at this, grass clearing just past the town limit. And it's a very nice summer evening, and there are chairs set up around like small tables. So it'll be like, 2 to 4 chairs for like each small round table. And then there's a bit of a wooden stage that's been set up. And sitting on the stage is this man with kind of pointy ears, and he's playing a guitar, and I'll kind of let him introduce what he looks like.
Oh, is that me?
Yes.
Think that's me. So he is sitting there with his guitar. He's playing. He is not fully of elf. You can tell by just he's not as thin as an elf would be. So you suspect that he's some sort of half elf. His skin is very fair. He's got the same kind of gait as a human might, and is probably just as old as a 20-something human might be as well, just by his appearance and by his actual age. But one of his defining characteristics is that his eyes are very golden, and you can see they pierce you as they look at you. And he is playing a song on his guitar that sounds very... If there was a Earth equivalent of the style of music, you would almost call it Parisian. He's very European, very kind of centuries old kind of European music that you can hear coming from this guitar as he's playing on the stage.
Excellent. And the four of you, it's time to start learning names, so I'm gonna try to say them every time. Danith, correct? I'm pronouncing that correctly?
Hello, yes, that is
okay.
correct.
Danith and Alencia and Jader and Veril. The four of you see this, young half-elf man playing the guitar, and sitting just in front of the stage in a chair facing the audience, sort of tapping his foot a little bit as well, is a much more burly man with a little bit darker skin, and I'll let him introduce himself.
That should be me. My character's name is Hadak, and he is a half-orc who's a cleric, but is also taking some mercenary work at the current moment. Definitely clad in heavy armor, and he's reached half-orcs, they reach adulthood actually pretty early, relatively, when you go and by human years. But he is around 30. He's looking around 30, and his skin is one dark shade away from granite. His eyes though are a bit of a humanish brown, there's a soul within him, even though he looks extremely ragged, tired, maybe menacing.
So the four of you are sort of listening to this wonderful tune that is coming out of the guitar. And it's very soothing. And as you look around, there are vendors. There's two street vendors that have set up stalls. There is, you sort of see a sign that says Relaronian sausage vendor. And so, perhaps a taste of home. And then to the left, there is a Kastash meat pie vendor. And so there's sort of these two vendors. And you're welcome to check any of them out if you'd like.
I will be swiftly moving to the sausages.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, I'd like a chili dog right about now.
Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog is in the party. It's good to know. So when you get up, there's sort of this guy, and he's like, "Hello, you guys look like travelers from afar. It's very nice to meet you." And he's sort of like he's a burly orc. He's like he says. Are you from around here, or?
Do you
We're
not
all over.
know who I am? You not know the Lightbeard family?
Okay, Danith, I wasn't talking to you in specific.
All right, okay. No, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm talking to your friends who I don't know yet. And he looks at the tabaxi and the human and sort of inquires where the two of you are from.
We actually come from very far away from Releron.
Oh, that's where I'm from. Wow, I grew up in Releron City, actually, in the slums, born and raised. My father was a sausage maker, and so I've come to Kastash to sort of, continue that trade.
Did you ever venture into the jungle?
No, my father, we were tradesmen, we weren't really fighters, which was difficult growing up, because Releron, is very combat, that sort of thing. Not really for me. So I decided to leave. So I never went on a quest into the jungle or anything.
It's okay. I appreciate your love of food and lack of combating with the jungle.
Okay, very interesting. He's not sure what to make of that. He's like, that's good. And he's like, would you like to see the menu? And he points up, and there's a little menu below the name of the place. And There's a combo for 2 gold pieces. You can get a bratwurst and a summer ale. And then there is also a Releronian stout that you can get for 2 gold pieces on its own.
Can I get 2 of just the sausages?
Sure, yeah. What did I say? It was 2 gold for the combo, right?
Yeah.
So 2 gold
gold
for
for the
2
combo.
sausages.
I do say you're doing yourself a disservice. You know, these stands here are some of the best sausage in all of Kastash, let me tell you. And what really goes down well with it is the ale. It's paired there for a reason to go with the sausage. You gotta. I know we just met, but you know I gotta put my foot down here. You gotta match the ale with the sausage. You're not gonna regret it.
How much was the combo?
It's 2 gold pieces for the combo.
Now, any discount possibly as a fellow Releronian? I'm from Grentown, so we're like
my cousin's from Grentown.
absolutely.
I don't remember his name. It was a long time ago. But the sauce, it's already really cheap. I could maybe go to like 1 gold 5 silver for you.
You know, that sounds fair. I'm taking that deal.
Okay, great. And he says anything for Danith or Veril. He asks if you'd like anything.
I'm in the middle of an important fast right now.
Danith is just coming out of the tavern.
Yeah.
Already, a little too many drinks, a little too much, like trying to, partake in the business and to, asking for help. Here's a bunch of money. I'm buying your stuff. Sweeten them up a little bit, and then, it failed.
Right.
But yeah, I am stuffed right
Excellent. So this guy beckons you to take a seat, and he'll bring the food out to the 2 of you. That would be for Jader and Alencia. And
thank you.
Just mark off on your character sheet the amount of money that you spent. And he, gets to work. He turns around to some burners and he starts making the food. And I guess we have almost everyone's name by now. So I'm just going to do a little switcheroo here. Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh my gosh.
There are the names.
There are the
Look at
names.
that.
So now everyone can remember them, and I can easily reference them, which is great.
That is so
Except for my
helpful.
full name, because my Twitch name is too long.
Yes, and Fu, to be fair, Fu did tell me her character does like going by that nickname. So I was like, okay, this works. It fits.
Yeah, it looks good. Should I just post it in the chat? I can just post it in your chat.
Yeah, sure. So as the 4 of you take a seat around this round table, and this, like, truly it is a delightful summer evening. There's only a few clouds in the sky. The fireflies are out, sort of buzzing around, and the half-elf bard, who his name is on, but he's yet to introduce himself. He's on stage, and he finishes playing a rather delightful song, and perhaps
May I add something to that?
yes,
actually?
please.
My song that I was doing, my performance,
Sure.
was actually an enthralling performance.
Oh, okay.
That is actually an ability that I have.
Oh,
So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it does.
sure.
If I've been performing for at least 1 minute, which I imagine that
You've been doing like a half-hour set. You've been going for about 15 minutes or so.
I can pick a number of humanoids within 60 feet. I think up to or equal to my charisma modifier, which is 5. And I'm going to attempt to charm them.
Who are you picking?
I'm just going to pick random audience members, but I just so happen to pick as my one random choice somebody from the table of travelers that has chosen to sit down.
Sure.
And I am going to pick Danith. That's who I'm going to pick. So they have to make a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by me. But it's not necessarily anything bad. I'll explain what the charm is if you get charmed.
All right, so Danith, let me know which one is proper. Danith. Okay, so Danith, roll the very first roll of the campaign, and it's against a player.
I get it. It's gonna be a nat 20 for good luck.
Wisdom saving
Let's see.
throw.
So I roll 1d20, then I add the wisdom modifier.
And you add the wisdom saving throw modifier specifically.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Well, I rolled a 3 plus 2 wisdom modifier. I get a 5.
Yeah, you failed.
Yeah, your drinking is a little. It did not help you in this instance.
So, while you are charmed in this way, you idolize me, you speak glowingly of me, and you hinder anybody who might oppose me.
Wow.
I'm gonna test this out. Man, did you guys think that song kind of sucked?
Excuse me? What did you just say about like Elion, like one of the best song performers of the entire land on
Whoa,
the
sorry.
continent?
I was just stating my
She
opinion.
comes by, people wait months to buy tickets to these concerts. You just walk up.
Dan, I'm
and
sorry. I'm
you just
sorry.
go and insult. It's like, yeah,
I'm sorry.
you better go
I-
apologize to him.
I'll do that.
Not even
I'll do
listening,
that.
just eating sausage, and I don't even sit correctly. I figured I might want to mention
Oh yeah.
Gosh, he's so
all
he's
the
so
time.
handsome.
I love that.
The hair is like, God, his hair is so perfect. The guitar, the way it's being. My heart, it's beating twice as fast.
Be
usually
still,
is.
my beating heart.
Oh, be still, my beating heart.
So,
Oh,
Elion, perhaps you also give a little bit of an outro, and I'd love to hear it, that you're gonna go maybe get a drink or a bite or something.
Yeah, and I just say it's been a pleasure performing here for you all as always. This is my favorite place to be, my favorite place to perform. Thank you.
Elion. Oh,
The crowd goes,
I love you, Elion. It's great. Yeah,
The crowd goes
I don't
wild.
Wanna, yeah.
they're all like, wow! That skinny
Alright,
guy
it's time
from
to
before,
celebrate.
he's yelling, he's like, it's so good! Yes, so you might step down from the stage, or what's your plan?
I pat my friend on the back
Mhm.
and I say, "Let's go get a drink."
By the way, Haddock, your pay is we're gonna say 5 gold pieces per day. So we'll say you've been paid 5 so far, and you're supposed to be paid 5 for today. Does that sound like something you would do, Elion?
Yep.
Seems like a reasonable price. Okay, excellent.
Totally. Do I get money for the show that I put on?
Oh yes, this is a great point. The Freetown City Council provided you with a stipend for living in the town and performing and bringing people to eat at the vendors, and they paid you 30 gold pieces for your performance.
But he must get tips as well, I'm sure, from the fans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
I'm saying
you
Danith is
charmed
very enthralled right now with the performance, and is currently putting some gold in a purse to throw at
To
Elion
throw.
and try and grab his attention to get him to come over and sit at his table.
There's
because he really wants.
There's
some.
like a hat, and so there are some strewn gold pieces in there, like 5 or 6 gold pieces.
I want to
Alright,
say,
yeah.
like, as Elion like pats me on the back, I have my back turned in because obviously I was facing the crowd. I just want to hold my hand out and just scoff like,
All right. I'm sorry. No hands. I understand. Let's go get a drink.
okay.
All right.
And then, I'll
Yeah,
just
so
follow
I
wherever he leads.
flagged down the thing, and I put in 5 gold pieces into
All right,
the
so
hat.
we'll say your winnings for the night, Elion, are 10 gold from tips, half of that from one man, and 30 gold from the city council. And you've paid, we'll say, 10
I was
gold
charmed.
in total to Haddock. So we'll just say get rid of that 10 from the tips, and Haddock, you can add 10 to your gold.
Cool.
And Elion, you definitely notice this dwarf that put in so much. And he's sort of looking at you like beady eyes. He's like looks excited to see you, and you did this to him. So this is not a shock to you.
Yes.
In fact, everyone who put tips in were people that you mesmerized.
It's almost like it works or something. It's fantastic. And I'm kind of this is run of the course for me because this is what I do at my shows. So I kind of just like give a nod and like a wave as I go over to like the food vendor.
Oh my god, this woman faints. She she's been charmed by your spell, and when that happens, she's like, oh, and she faints and collapses, and her husband is like, honey, and he's like,
we might need a medic over there.
yeah, and he's like, I'll take care of it, and he lifts her up, and he's like, you don't go anywhere near my wife, and then he like runs away.
I blow him a kiss.
He's like, I'm a married man, and then he runs away.
That's right.
There aren't any
So-
animals around this particular scene, are there?
No, animal folk are quite rare. And as far as animals individually, you know, there's like some squirrels running about the ground near the trees, and there's lightning bugs about. But other than that, there's not really any animals present.
Okay. Okay. I'm not talking. Yeah, I mean like actual animals.
Yeah, there are squirrels and chipmunks like abound, you know, gathering nuts and acorns and things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, Elion, which would you like to go to one of the food vendors?
Sure.
Would you like to try the Kastash meat pie vendor?
I would love to.
Great. So the Kastash meat pie vendor is just this very big, rotund, very jolly-looking man, and he's got big red cheeks. He looks like Santa Claus. And he's like, "Welcome to my stall. Oh my gosh. Hi, your music is great. It's so good.
Thank you.
If you'd like to try, we have the meat pie for 2 gold and the vegetable pie for 3 gold, because I'll let you in on a secret. I heard that if people are on a diet, they'll pay more. So I just figured the vegetable one will be more expensive, and it's working so far."
Well, it's an interesting business model you got there. Now,
Yeah.
I'll say, that vegetable one does sound pretty tasty. Do you throw in maybe a performer's discount?
Oh gosh, you know, I actually don't.
Oh, you don't. That's too bad. Well, I was gonna buy a meat pie, but maybe I'll reconsider.
Okay.
Danith overhears Danith overhears this conversation, and his most recent new idol, is having trouble, and he just rushes over and slams 2 gold coins on the thing. They're like, "These meat pies are big. You gotta have one." I'm Danith, by the way, it's nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. Well, it looks like I've had most of my meal covered, so I put the other gold piece on the.
And you get the vegetable pie. And the guy's like, "Oh, Lightbeard, you are a problem." And he takes the gold and he produces one of the pre-cooked vegetable pies for you, Elion. And yeah.
Merci.
De rien.
Oh, you speak French too.
Yes, Dwomish. The man says, "Oh, my mother's actually from Dwom." So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not very often you see people from
No, they don't leave really, do they?
No.
No, generally speaking,
No,
pretty.
so I've heard.
I didn't bring the cuisine over either. You know, my competitor over there is like all about his homeland, but I tried to distance myself as much as possible for reasons that I'm sure you understand. And I'm actually gonna close up shop for today, if that's okay. And he closes the thing, and then he's just like, "Bye," and he picks it up and wheels it away. And he's gone.
I kind of just like, that was a very interesting fellow, and then I realized that I hadn't actually, my half-orc friend wasn't able to get anything from the stand as a result of that nonsense. So I turned to him, I'm like, "Sorry about that. Can I get you anything else?"
He'll just shrug. This is my half-orc voice, by the way. Yes, so get used to it.
I love it.
He's going to scorn, or he's going to scoff.
Bobby, my recommendation to give it like extra sauce is when you're doing actions and rolling and stuff, use your normal voice.
I'll talk.
Yeah, because that'll give it the extra. That'll give it the extra spice.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Amazing.
I just had to give the introduction.
Amazing.
Yes.
I don't. Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. So yeah, you know, he shrugs, and you know, Varel, you obviously recognize both of these fellows. They both are spitting images of those which you've seen in your vision.
Yeah, so I was sort of meditating during the performance a little bit, trying to recall these images in my head to be sure of myself, and now I'm sure. And I walk up to the both of them, and I'm like, "Your number's 5 and 6."
I beg your pardon?
That's it. 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3. I'm 4, and you're 5 and 6.
Are we in some sort of catalog?
Okay, I hear what's going on, and I'm gonna go ahead and walk over, because even though I don't have as much experience with people as well, I still have a bit more.
Sure. Oh, also, Jader and Elle, you've had your meals for a bit now. He brought them over, and they were delectable. They were
a good
delicious.
sausage.
It was a
It was
great
great sausage.
It was excellent.
Yeah, it's meat.
And I was supposed to say, like, during this whole thing, Danith is like 10 feet away, just like awkwardly smiling and just like jittering in his face because he's so excited. He's right there.
I will also
I don't think anybody
accompany
else has noticed. Yeah.
Varel and L to
And
talk.
I'm just kind of perplexed by these numbers. I'm like, I'll have you know, kind stranger, I'm actually first billing everywhere I go.
Yeah, you're not number 5 and 6 on the call sheet.
Absolutely not.
I'd like to interrupt. He's not the best with speaking, but hello, I am Valencia. It's very nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. My name is Monsieur Winsong, but you, my love, can call me Elion.
Elion.
Bold.
Damn.
Oh, thank you.
The suave.
So we've traveled together, and we're looking for some help. And our friend here has had visions of us all to go on some great journeys. So we were all in need enough and interested enough to join together and have been traveling. So in terms of 5 and 6, you would be our 5th and 6th members that he would like to recruit.
I see. So
Yeah, I guess I didn't explain very much. I'm in my own head a lot, but I had a dream, and you guys were in it, and I think we're supposed to fight the gods or something. Do you like fighting gods?
Oh, you're coming out a little strong.
Sorry. Do you like fighting?
I mean, I much prefer singing and music.
Do you dislike gods?
They have done some terrible things in this land, so I've heard.
That's good. That's good. I think I have the right people.
And in this moment, Hadak, perhaps, he's also looking at you, so if you have some kind of response, now would also be the time.
You make no sense. Start making sense now.
Can
I mean, we got a pretty good thing going here.
Can I like try to pick him up by like his shoulder, like what anything that I can like grab on, like pick him up?
Yeah, sure. Also, Jader, what were you about to do?
Can I attempt to calm Hadak down because I speak Orc?
Yes, you absolutely can. You can roll. I did not have any character sheets up, which is a mistake. Let's open that image in new tab.
I
Okay.
don't know how many episodes to wait until we start making fun of each other.
Give it like one episode. You can roll persuasion, and Hadak can roll insight against your persuasion.
Sure.
Okay. Remind me.
So roll a d20 and add your persuasion modifier, which is in skills.
Yes. I rolled an 8.
Okay, and Hadak, you'll roll insight.
I also rolled an 8.
Tie goes to
Give
the
my
attacker.
bonus.
That's how we do it in combat. So, you are calmed. There's something about Jader's mentality. He seems very sure of himself, and he seems very level-headed. He doesn't seem like the kind of like. He's not your Grum. He's a fighter, but he's not a barbarian. And you find his instigation rather calming.
Then I'll drop the target. Then I'll also scoff.
Like a horse. And in that moment, when you're sort of all, looking at this weird interaction that's taking place, you hear a voice starting to yell, and it sounds a lot like that very skinny man again. And he runs into the clearing, and he says, "Trouble in the square! Monsters!" And then he faints and falls over down onto the ground. And that is all you hear.
Everywhere I go, people just faint. I don't understand what this is about.
And some townsfolk are like, and they go the opposite way away from the town.
I'm going to, I guess my ears will perk up because I have, keen hearing.
Okay.
So I would like to listen in on what's going on and see if I can hear anything before I...
What's the range on keen hearing?
It just says I have, just an advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing.
Great. I think it would also, be suited that you could kind of hear... You can kind of hear, like, there's a lot of commotion, it sounds like. There's a lot of stepping on, like, cobble. but it's too distant to know exactly what's going on, but there's a lot of movement.
And I would probably be rushing into see what the source of the trouble is.
Sure. Does anyone join him?
I'd like to, very similar to our one-up, I'm gonna start climbing stuff.
Okay, sure. It's like, so you're at this like concert venue, it's like 20 feet to the first row of buildings, and then it's not too long into the town square from there. And the buildings are all like one story, except there was that tavern and some other ones on the other side.
Okay. Anything that I can get up onto quickly. I have
Sure.
A climbing speed of 20 feet.
Great. You probably don't need to roll athletics for that. That's fine. If you have since you have a proper climbing speed. So you're able to make it up onto the roof. The rest of you, what is your plan?
The moment the guy said monsters, I totally forgot about my squad, and I'm just running to the center.
Great. Seems you and Jader have the same idea. Danith, Haddock,
Yeah,
Elion.
Danith is still charmed by Ilion.
So you're
And
looking
does not
at
want
me.
to leave his sight. Yeah, I'm just still staring. Like, I'm following Ilion wherever he's going right now, because
How
as
long does
far
that
as
last,
My
by the
character
way?
knows nothing else.
1 hour.
exists.
It lasts 1 hour.
Amazing.
And technically, I guess I'm still contracted to protect Elion and like guide him. So like, I don't want him to get in harm's way. So like, I'm waiting on his word.
Yeah, I kind of just look at Haddock and I just kind of shrug my shoulders. I'm letting him decide. Should we go check it out?
It would,
That- I think that
What?
means yes.
Gun.
it would give me a chance to flex these muscles a bit. I say we go.
You know I enjoy watching you do that, so let's go.
Oh my god. Elion is all about everyone. Excellent. So you're heading in, and probably what's your movement speed, Fu? What's El's movement speed on the ground?
I 30.
30. Okay, excellent. So pretty much everybody arrives at the town square around the same time, but Haddock and Danith and Elion are a little far behind, just because they
I'm
sort of had a
definitely got there
deliberation.
first because my movement speed is 45.
Wow.
I'm a
Whoa, speedy boy.
Okay,
How
so
old are you
Hey,
again?
Cap.
250, right?
250 years old.
That's impressive.
So Jader and Varel definitely get there first. And immediately you see that there are these 3 goblins, and they're holding scimitars, and they're just like terrorizing townsfolk, and the townsfolk are running. And there's one larger hobgoblin who's sort of a taller goblin figure in the back. And goblins in D&D are less of the like Lord of the Rings goblin, like scaly guys. They're more like furred, small, like violent creatures with armor. And they catch your glance immediately, and I would say everybody, for the first time, let's roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
We didn't get my initiative, Danny.
It's your dexterity.
Oh.
So roll d20 and add dexterity. Yeah, I think so.
All right.
One
I have
second
my roll
here.
when you are ready.
Yes, I will ask you one by one in just a second here. Ooh, that's pretty good. I really should have written this down beforehand, but hindsight is 20/20.
I
Jader,
have my dice. There you go. Now I can show them off.
amazing.
Yeah, look at that.
Very nice.
Elion,
Oh,
L,
dope.
Jader, Danith. Is that
Dice?
6? Yes.
Dice shows everybody. I don't know if I can. We all got dice. You got
No.
dice.
Ooh, yeah. I want
I do
those.
not have dice at the moment.
I don't have
Maybe in the
dice.
future.
Danith. Your roll.
I got an 8.
8. Jader.
Rolls haven't been too hot tonight.
I got an 11.
11. Varel.
13.
13. Haddock.
17.
17. Elion.
15.
15. L. Alencia. 18. Great. Alencia, it's you first. And so there are these 3 goblins in the town square, and then there's the one hobgoblin to your right. And you're perched above them.
So they're terrorizing people, like they're attacking and.
Yeah, the townsfolk have sort of scattered, and now their focus is on your compatriots that are on the ground. But they are evil.
Do I see any of them particularly close to any of my group.
Not really. Danith, or pardon me, Varel and Jader are sort of equidistant from the hobgoblin on their right and the 3 goblins on their left. Varel's probably a little closer. He's maybe 10 feet away from the nearest goblin.
Okay, but not the big one. So,
No.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my longbow against one of the smaller,
Sure.
regular goblins.
Hit it. Roll d20 and add that attacking bonus, and let's see what it does.
I got a 27.
Yeah, that hits.
I got a 19 in my
Plus
attack bonus
8. Lord
Yeah.
Almighty. Excellent. Yeah, that's a hit. So roll damage.
Okay. Let's see, a D8. This is new for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Plus my dex is, so that's a 9.
9 damage. Excellent. So you draw, and it right through his neck, and he falls over dead immediately. First goblin down.
Right.
And you can move as well if you'd like to.
Sure. I also have feline agility, which means I can move with a burst of speed. So when it says when you move on your turn in combat, you can double your speed until the end of your turn.
Okay.
And then once I use it, I can't use it again until I don't move on a turn.
Okay. Interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure I need to use that.
You're currently in a pretty advantageous position, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. So I
Just
you
call
said
it
I
there.
can move, but not attack, right?
You can move, but unless you have a multi-attack or something, you can't attack again.
I mean, if I'm in a pretty good position, I think that this is yeah, unless there's something I can duck behind.
There's a smokestack you could probably duck behind.
Sure, just so that I don't get attention on me quite yet.
Sure. Yeah, I also see some questions in chat about whether or not we have some kind of visual for the combat. Not currently. I personally, unless we're doing in person, which we would use like figurines and stuff, and I definitely prep that. I don't love the online resources myself. I think it's actually can be more of a hindrance sometimes, even if it is nice to have a visual representation. It can be very clunky. So I kind of like the idea of it all living in our brains. So, you know, that's sort of how we did it for campaign 1. Up next is Hadak.
All right. Let's see, what is the? I mean, like I'm pretty much like right in front of
Yeah,
them, so
you'll be able to make it to any of the 4 of them easily.
Okay, then I'll go up to an undamaged one, and
Okay.
I will ready my mighty mace for hit, and that's a nat 20.
Woo! Let's go.
Which allows me to show off some half-orc stuff, activating my savage attacks. So when I score a critical hit, I get to roll a damage die an additional time. So the mace is 1d6. I get to roll 3d6 now, which is
Wow.
great.
Wow.
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 So he's like, so
That
is
was
a
otherworldly.
We're gonna
love
literally
that.
flatten these goblins.
That is a 3d6 plus 3 for 16 total damage.
What are you hitting him with, a mace?
A mace.
Yeah. He's like being... He's getting flattened into a pancake. And the other goblin is like... Is that your turn?
I moved and I attacked.
Excellent. The other goblin is going to just like be like... You see in his brain, he goes like 1, 2, 3, and then runs at you and tries to attack you. Like trying to muster the courage. That probably hits. Does a 22 hit you? I would guess yes.
Oh.
You take 5 damage slashing
Sure.
from his scimitar. He just sort of slices at you once, and it does much less than he thought it was going to. And now he's afraid because he's right in front of you. The hobgoblin, the larger one, is going to approach... probably going to approach Danith Danith, well, you're probably back with Elion, and Elion, I doubt you would enter the battle area properly, probably. So I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to say he approaches Veril, because Veril, you're sort of right there. And the hobgoblin comes up to you and tries to swing his longsword at you. That is a nat 1. That is a nat 1.
Easy mode.
He swings, but right as he's swinging, the setting sun bounces off of, like, it just moves into just the right spot. And the ray of the sun bounces off a nearby window and catches him in the eye, and he goes blind. And his corneas are burned, and he is just swinging wildly around. So that's unfortunate for him, for sure. And he backs up 10 feet. And up next is Elion.
Yes. So,
Vite.
seeing that the big hobgoblin is incapacitated, I'm going to go ahead and use Bane on the other goblins, all 3 of them. And they have to make...
Well, 2 of them are dead. There's one goblin and...
they're already dead.
One goblin, one hobgoblin.
Okay, I didn't know that they were dead. I thought they were just smaller.
Oh no,
'Cause
one
they
got shot
flattened
in the
them.
neck, and the other got flattened.
You know what? Let me reconsider that, actually, then. Let me reconsider that. Let's see. What should I do here? I'm going to cast...
Did I give the doc a nod, like, right after you fled?
like, hell yeah, that was cool.
Absolutely.
Bane. Yeah, I
It's
won't.
2 out of 1. So what are you gonna do?
Okay, so I'm going to use Dissonant Whispers instead. I'm going to cast it on the hobgoblin that just got blinded.
Okay.
I whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of my choice within range can hear, 60 feet, so he is.
Okay.
Racking it with terrible pain, the target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That's probably not going to work. 5.
Nope. Definitely fails. So takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Okay, it moves 30 feet back, and it takes 11 damage.
Nice.
Which is, coincidentally, how much health it has. The sound enters its brain, and then it's like, "Ah," and then it's, poof, it like bursts.
Fatality.
He's gone. So now there's just this one little goblin.
I kind of just like dust my shoulders off, like.
Guitars are cool. Learn your chords. Is that your turn?
New
That'll be my
meaning to
turn.
the term power chord, right?
Whoa, good joke. That's a good joke. I like that joke.
Can't wait till fan attacks show off to Elion.
Veril, it's your turn.
This
Okay.
already might not even have an attack.
I know.
I'm just gonna run straight at this goblin's face and use my quarterstaff. And I rolled a big number, 25.
That's a hit.
And the damage is 11.
You dunk dunk like Gandalf style, just poof, right in the noggin, and his head just implodes, and he falls to the ground. These are nothing to you. You guys are wonderful warriors. And the townsfolk are like, start to creep out of their houses. Like, is everything okay? And there's just like goblin blood everywhere. The one that got hit by the guitar, like his brains are all over the walls. And like the one that got flattened is like draining into the sewers. Like there's a mess. And just as you're feeling pretty good, unfortunately, Jader and Danith didn't even get a chance.
I'm disappointed. My sword is still sheathed.
That's so tough. You hear that voice again. That skinny man is running into town. He goes, "Trouble! North at the cottages! Fire!" And then he collapses and faints on the ground. And he's out. So evidently there is fire north at the cottages and farms north of Freetown.
This guy probably needs medical attention.
Who raised this guy?
Well, I'm thirsty for more action, so I'm definitely running towards the fires.
I'll see you there, and I just start any kind of rooftop.
Sure. You quickly are, you're scampering over these rooftops, and you make it to the last one, and you're able to skillfully, like, maybe flip off the last one, and you land, and you're taken off. And Danith, obviously, you are in a trance, but you're sort of, you're broken out of it because you feel a sense of duty as you remember what that area means to you.
Yeah, so, like, first of all, like, Dan's just looking around and, like, is confused, like, when did I get here? Wait, what happened? And he looks over and he sees Elian and is like, because he's seen Elian perform in the past, and is like, oh, no. oh, God, no. Because I forgot to do this part about Dan. I didn't give a good description. Dan's got, bright green eyes, amazing golden locks, flows down like a river. And this beautiful beard braided on both sides down to, about here, about nipple high. And he tries his best to look cool at all times and realize being charmed by Elian is the complete opposite of cool, and is visibly blushing and is very embarrassed and tries to play it off like nobody saw anything. So
nobody saw the last half hour, right?
No, nobody saw it. Nobody saw the last half hour. So he just comes in. He's like, all cool. I was like, north of the cottages. That's where my family is. We need to get over there as soon as we can.
And I yelled
He just starts bolting over there.
Can I yell to Dan to check his gold, so he knows how much he spent?
Oh yeah, so
you check your pockets and there is 7 less gold than you remember, because you spent 2 at the restaurant and 5 tip.
All right, so I see that, and then I see Elliot smirking. I'm assuming he's smirking at this moment at me. I just look around. I just give him like a cold stare, and it's like just like the big eyes thing there. Like this has to wait till later. We will settle the score, but first things first. I need to go.
I just blow him a kiss.
Go check it. And I start blushing again. It's like, I'm so mad. There's a vein pumping from my my head, and I'm just so pissed off that I got fooled by this guy, and but I have a bigger drive right now. But rest assured, Elian's gonna take a beating later.
Wow.
A beating.
A beating.
A beating later. Yeah.
Ooh woo. Excellent. So I think the lot of you, I mean, Haddock, what's your plan? And Vero as well.
I'm following pretty much Elian.
Great. So, and Elion, you're also going up?
Yeah, I say kind of after you, Haddock.
So, as you run north of Freetown and the buildings quickly turn to grassy fields and the tall trees of the Giant's Wood, you can now see smoke rising above those same trees and the bright light of the fire in the distance. And the fire burns quite brightly and illuminates the otherwise darkening evening sky. It's becoming early evening now as the sun is properly setting. You sort of make it to this first cottage after maybe 300 or 400 meters, so like a fourth of a mile. And they're burning, but civilians are pouring out, and a farmer and his wife run out of one of the distant homes and come up to you, and they're like, are you here to help? Are you here to assist? And that's to you, whoever got there first, which is probably Veril and Alencia, I would guess. The two of you probably make it there first. They're like, are you here to help?
Too short.
Yeah, exactly.
What exactly did they say?
Are you here to assist? Like, are you here to help?
Do you have water?
There are some wells around the various farms. I've just been trying to get families out. I think we've got almost everyone. Whatever that thing was, we did not see. But you should probably get out of here as fast as you can. If you can put the fires out, great. But
there was a thing?
It was engulfed in fire, going from house to house, almost like flying in between them, setting them aflame.
Have you rescued all your animals?
I mean, I just opened the gate for my sheep and for the cattle on one of the nearby farms. It's mostly grain and produce, unfortunately. Those don't really run away for the most part. But the animals, the livestock, we've sort of let loose and we can gather them later.
Okay, I'm happy to do a round if needed.
Sure, I mean, you're more than welcome to. But he says, for now, I'm going to get my wife out of here. And he just, like, takes off. And then this other guy comes running down. and he is charred. He's got, like, his hair is singed, and he's got, like, a burn mark on his hand. He's putting out a flame on his right arm. And by this point, the lot of you have sort of made it to this guy, and he's like, "It's still heading north, I think? Turn around. Turn around."
The fire thing?
I think it went to the Lightbeard house.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We gotta go. We gotta go there.
Danith, I think your
As soon
family's
as we
still
can.
in there.
Oh gosh. Oh no, this is bad. This is bad. Everybody, please.
I immediately
we
lift
need
up
to go
Danith
take
and I
this.
put him on my shoulders and I say, "Show me the way, because I'm faster."
And then I point onwards in the direction of my house, and yeah,
I'm taking off.
yeah, and we're just going.
Excellent.
At this, I want to mention I am wearing I'm a ranger. Danith is a ranger, so he's got this cool cape, and it's like just with the sunset coming in, because it was sunset earlier, blinded that other goblin. It's a sight to behold, seeing the cape flowing in the wind and the beard. Like, Danith looks awesome here as he's charging on the shoulders.
Like character, like player.
Yes.
So
I'm also following behind to help.
excellent.
Yeah, I will.
So
But I want
yeah,
to
go ahead.
survey for anything that could be hurt along the way. because
Sure.
I'd like to-
As you're running, actually, you see to your right there is a dog. There is some kind of terrier, and its leg is caught beneath a piece of lumber, and it's like pawing at the ground, desperately trying to get out.
Okay, you all go on ahead. I'm going to help the dog.
Sure. So you make it to the dog post haste, and you can attempt to lift the logs. You can roll strength.
Sure. Okay, so what do I do with the base number?
So you'll roll d20, and then you'll add your strength modifier, which is the big number on the far left.
Right, okay, but the other part doesn't, the actual number above doesn't matter.
No, just the plus.
Okay, 13.
Yeah, so you lift up these logs, and the dog sort of like, that's not a dog noise, and it just, runs away. It thanks you for your time, I guess. And I'm like flustered by the fact that I tried to do a dog noise in the moment, and then it came out like a screaming child. So the dog gets away, and it seems to be its leg is okay, and it's out just fine.
Okay.
We'll cut to the others now, and they're almost there, and you see this 2-story home. It's the tallest farm home you've seen thus far, and it's kind of a wide base, and it's not huge, but it's bigger than the others. And it is, the top floor is aflame. Danith, you see, obviously you get there first with Varel, and you see Onril, Bara, Ollie. You see Onril, Bara, and Ollie sort of like walking out, and Nalavir is carrying Ollie. And Nalavir sets Ollie down and sees you and is like, "Danith."
All right, it's like, is anybody else in there? I'm still on the shoulders. Is anybody else in there?
Mom and Dad, I think, are on the top floor. I haven't been able to get them yet. I just got the girls out.
Oh, that's okay. Then so like Danith doesn't need any more words. Sees that they're okay and just needs to rush into the burning building to try and save his parents. So, but at this point, Dan still, even in a moment of crisis, has to do things in style, and is going to go for a cool dismount. Sorry.
Roll acrobatics.
Yeah, a cool dismounts off of Varel here, and doing an acrobatics roll. I get a 21.
What would you like to do?
All right, so I stand up. I tell Varel, it's like, I got this in a really cool voice, and he pushes off with all his strength. Also, Varel is very strong. Danith weighs a little over 200 pounds, and Varel doesn't even feel it.
Too
Very
late to
strong.
retcon
Yeah.
it now.
Anyway, yeah. So I made damage. I made damage to shoulders a little bit. I jump up and I do a triple front flip.
Triple
and
front
land
flip.
onto the. Yeah, triple front flip.
Okay, so you jump
And
like
land
15 feet
in-
in the air.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
My
I
collarbones are
land-
shattered under the weight of this jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. I land at the front door and I barge in.
Okay,
I'm
and
running
to
up
the-
the distance after the dog, and
Yeah.
I just see that gold hair flipping off in front.
And Nalavir goes in right behind you, Danith. Your younger brother is right in tow. And what do the rest of you do? You've all sort of reached the house by this point. And Veril obviously is in front, and Jader's right behind. And then Hadak, Elion, and Alencia are also just behind.
Can I yell to Elle to use her... I can't remember, what was it? Insight or something? To see if she can tell...
Oh, the hearing.
Flame creature is near us?
Sure. Roll insight, Fu. Is that one of the things that's included in the keen hearing?
Keen hearing is a perception check that relies on hearing.
Well, then let's do that. Roll perception.
Okay. I got a nat 20, and so 25.
It definitely sounds like there is something causing fire on the top floor. It's not just natural flame from, like, things being lit. There is also commotion and things being actively lit on the top floor.
So I'm going to call out and say, something's still in there. It's on the top floor.
And Danith...
Yeah, his parents.
No, not just his parents.
Danith, you and Nalavir do not hear her say this. You're already past the kitchen, past the living room, almost to the stairs. But the rest of you hear this.
Can I don't know if it's time. Can I go ahead and well, how much is the fire on the outside of the building? Can I climb it?
Yeah, you're not going to be able to climb the building, unfortunately. The flames are surrounding it at this point, especially out the top floor. Yes, particularly flammable.
Yeah, I'm pretty flammable, so I can't really help. Yeah, I can listen.
Are there any wells nearby?
There's a well from the house just to the left.
I feel like someone, I don't know who, we should maybe stick by the well in case we need to use the water to put out Danith's parents.
I'm gonna look toward Elion when he says that and said,
Perhaps this would be so that your robes wouldn't be set on fire.
That's
If
a
you
very
would
good
stay
point.
behind.
I would much rather stay away from the fire. Thank you very much. I will stand by the well.
then oh,
Does an
sorry.
orc have fire resistance?
What was that?
Like with the skin type, I don't know if like you have skin that helps.
I think the only race that has fire resistance is Tiefling.
Tiefling.
Tiefling, yep.
Oh,
Okay, I just wasn't sure because I would assume that the skin is like thicker than average.
I would have
I'm
assumed
pretty sure he's good.
Dragonborn.
Yeah.
I go grab a bucket full of water, and as I'm running back from the well towards the house, I have like a thought, and then I fill my mouth with water too, just in case, and I'm bringing the bucket into the house, into the burning building.
All right. Some of it is sloshing about,
Yeah.
but you can keep some of it in.
I'm gonna follow Veril into the house.
Great. And Elion, you're staying by the well. And Hadak, what's your plan?
Doc, I'm going into the house.
Okay. And Danith is already in. And Alencia, what's your plan?
I'll be with Elion.
Great. So Elion and Alencia, the two L's, are hanging out by the well. The L's by the wells. And
Elves by the wells.
The L's by the wells. And the rest of you, you burst in, and it is like difficult to breathe. Maybe you're covering your mouth. The smoke is already quite dense. You're looking around. You don't know the house, but it's a pretty clear path through the kitchen and the living room to this staircase, and it's this round staircase up to the second floor, like a center floor plan. And as you round it, we'll cut to Danith and Nalavir, who are... and Nalavir is Danith's younger brother, by the way. And the two of them have just rounded the top of the stairs, and Nalavir goes to the master bedroom, and he's like, I think they're in here.
All right, so I go through, and the door, is it open or shut? Or
It's shut.
It's shut. So I go in there and I attempt to open the door. Not sure if there's blockage or not, but I'm trying to barge through it. The
Roll
fire did
strength.
any damage to it?
It's difficult to open at first. It feels like there might be a bookshelf or something that's fallen in front of it.
Yeah. All right. So my strength roll is 15.
All right, you 1, 2, and then Nalavir joins in. Excellent. And the two of you together, the two brothers, take one step back, 3, 2, 1, and then run in, and you're able to burst the door open, and the bookshelf that was in front of it, falls, and the cinders sort of fall around. And what you see.
So I noticed the bookshelf is like they barricaded themselves in here, but for what?
So the moment you shove the door open, what meets your eye is a humanoid figure, and it's engulfed in a thick layer of flame, and it's like levitating above the ground, and the master bed is gone. It's been incinerated, and this thing is sort of standing where the bed was, and it's holding your parents by large flame hands. Your dad in its right and your mom in its left, and they're like struggling to breathe, and they're they don't want to touch the hands, but like trying, and they're being burned through their clothes, and it sees you.
All right, so
and we're gonna continue our initiative rolls. In case combat starts, your initiative roll will be the same. So I already have it written down, so no need to roll again.
All right, so I looked at Nelvier. I see exactly what's happening. There's my younger brother, so I try to fill his eyes and turn him around, and say, "You need to go get help."
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, big bro. I'm not going anywhere.
And it was like I try to convince him, but it's clear that he doesn't want to move at all. So,
and at this moment, also the others that are coming enter the doorway. Varel, Jader, and Hadak. You make it to the top, and you see the same.
Okay.
Can I just blow right by them, straight to the fire thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna dump the water on the fire thing's head, and then also spit the water that I have in my mouth at it. Hopefully in the face.
Both sets of flames evaporate both set of water evaporate immediately. On contact, they evaporate.
That didn't go as planned.
Nice try, Varel. I think we need to do a little more than that, though.
I'm outside and I'm listening, and I'm like, I think I just heard water evaporate. Uh-oh.
Perhaps we should do this my way, then.
Then I raise up my mace.
Sure.
So the way you think, Hadak.
Let's actually go, let's go in the turn order of the people that hadn't gone yet. So Jader is actually first.
I would actually like to hold my longsword with 2 hands so that I can roll a d10.
Sure.
Well, actually, I have to see if I hit first, right?
Yes.
All right. So I roll a d20.
Yes.
Plus your dexterity.
Well, no.
That's
You'll add the attack bonus in the middle, which for this is your strength and proficiency, I think.
So I'm sorry. What am I adding?
You'll add, so you roll d20, and then you'll add the number under attack bonus in the middle, next to longsword.
Okay. Okay. So I rolled a 9.
9. What did you roll base 4? 5? Isn't it plus 6 on the? Isn't it plus 6?
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
Oh, that's tough.
Plus 6.
As you try to slice at it, the flame almost like parts, and the sword goes through the flames, and then the flame like reconjoins, and you swear you caught glimpse of like clothing underneath the fire.
Rats, I missed.
I missed. What would you like to back up?
Yes, I would like to back up as far to the wall as possible.
Sure, you make it to the bedroom wall, no problem. Danith.
All right, so I pull out both of my short swords, one in the left hand, Natasha, and the one in the right hand, Susan, are my two swords. And I'm not sure if I can attack twice with a dual wield. Is that something?
Not unless it is part of your class. It would be stated explicitly if that's an ability you have. I don't think a ranger has.
Yeah, I'm
bonus
not sure.
attack.
All right, so I take these, and I charge in. And I'm going to try and slash one of the arms, holding my parents, to try and
roll to hit.
Okay. So I got a 14.
Does that hit? Let's find out. It does not. So you're swinging.
shoot.
What are you swinging? Hand axes? Is that what you said?
Short sword.
Short swords. You swing which one? Susan or Natasha?
Natasha.
All right.
Left-handed.
Natasha gets swung, and as you slice at the hand also like parts, and it goes through the flame, and you see wrist, like skin, and then it reconjoins. Would you like to move as well?
Yeah, I'm finding it difficult to breathe. I move 10 feet back.
Sure.
Just to maybe, avoid something that comes next.
So your brother, Nalavir, now charges, unarmed at the beast. Just, takes a deep breath, and he's psyched himself up, and he jumps, and he's trying to punch it. And this figure, where's this part? I have it written down. Okay, so what she does is she shakes her head, and then the fire dissipates, and what you see is this tall woman, about 6 feet in stature, and she wears a long flowing crimson dress, and she still maintains the flaming hands around her hands so that they're large enough to hold both of your parents. And as your brother is, coming at her, she punches him with the hand and hits. And it just... he gets sent, through the wall of the bedroom and hits the banister and unconscious, bleeding and burnt. And she says, "Oh, how I do love it when you mortals put up a fight. It's just so much more fun than when it's too easy." And she sets down your parents. She releases them. And they start to, they're, grabbing at their sides, and they start to hobble towards you. And your mother says, "Danith, run!" And then, just then, the woman snaps her fingers, and a line of flames erupts from her hand, and she cuts through your parents' necks instantaneously, and the singed line on the wood floor reveals the path of the laser-fast, thin line of fire which cut in an arc and hit true to its two unarmed, defenseless targets. Your parents slump to the floor, their lifeless bodies the freshest reminders of the act that was just performed. And she looks at you and she says, "Now, shall we make this interesting?" And she snaps her fingers again and produces a whip of flame out of nowhere. And she swings it around and destroys the upper layer of the building. And the entire roof and the top half of the walls are absolutely ravaged and now released to the night air.
Wait, it doesn't fall near us or in the
No,
area?
it gets obliterated with such velocity that it flies away, even further than you and Elion. We'll say, Danith, I think it's only right that you have a reaction to this.
Yeah, I just turned into an anime protagonist. So, yeah, Dan's just the speech blown away from, he's trying to process exactly what just happened here. Could they just be gone just like that? You saw them talking alive mere seconds ago. He turns around and sees his brother just beaten up, though still alive, and he's trying to just hold back the tears because he knows there's a bigger mission. If you don't take care of it now, the rest of the Lightbeard family could go. And so he gets his resolve, stands up, puffs out his chest, puts his swords out, crosses them in front of him, and is ready to go in for the next attack.
Yeah, can I put a hand on his shoulder and call his attention,
Sure.
me being the half orc and all
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Feel later. Fight now.
Epic.
That was so good.
That was
Epic.
deep.
I gotta see that anime.
And then, so Dan just does a short nod, and then just does a quick thing, but doesn't want to show too much emotion right now, and just very subtly acknowledges it, and is ready to attack. Yeah.
Truly a devastating moment. And just after she does all these things, destroy the buildings, you have this tender moment, this moment of sheer shock at what has just taken place. And up next, you also have all just seen this, obviously, except for Elion and Alencia, who are outside. But the two of you do see the building. So the fire's not really an issue anymore.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Can we see into the top floor now, since it's exposed?
Yeah, you can kind of peek over a little bit from the well, and you can see your party members and this tall woman on the far side, and you could definitely make it to them now if you wanted to.
That's true.
But we'll wait for your turn.
Well, I still see that she has fire, right?
Yeah, she's holding the flaming whip.
Yeah.
And she has this crimson red hair.
Okay.
And she, is wearing this long flowing crimson dress. After her it's actually you, Alencia. It's your turn.
Yeah. I wonder if I would have any information on who she is.
Roll a
or-
history check.
Yeah. Okay. 15.
You think this is a god, but you're not sure which one.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking already. Do I have enough of a vantage point to be able to try to use my longbow?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to attempt to do that.
Sure.
I'm upset with the gods, so
Yes.
I mean a little bit. So yeah. Okay.
Let's go to the boss playlist.
Only got a 10.
That does not hit. You draw your bow and fire, and it goes past her hair, and as it does, it like it burns up.
Okay.
Would you like to move as well?
No.
That's fine. Totally fine.
Not at the moment.
Hadak, it's your turn.
Okay. Before I do anything, I also want to try to like survey this tall woman, this being, and see if use my like religion to kinda
roll
survey
a
everything
religion
around.
check for you. That makes more sense for you to roll religion, yeah. For you specifically.
That's a 19.
This is Chimoth. She's the goddess of fire and flames. And she is a frightening goddess that was known for laying waste to lands and people at her will.
I feel like in Hadak, I think Hadak would know this, but he would not relay this to the party.
Okay.
Especially like in the heat of the moment. He still would want to protect his party because even though they're probably about to die, like they got to go down swinging. So for the first time for campaign 2, we gonna be bringing the bless.
Can we get some adef bless in the chat, please, or any bless
Please.
emote you choose?
Drop
kept the
them
bless.
blessos. That's right. And if you don't know what bless does, I can target. Well, at spell level 1, I can target 3 creatures, and they would gain a plus 1d4 bonus to their attack rolls or their saving throws for 1 full minute or 10 turns.
Who do you choose?
I would like to choose Jader. I would like to choose Danith, and I would like to choose Veryl's with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those 3.
So the 3 of you, for the next minute or 10 turns, anytime you roll a d20 to hit, you will also roll a d4 and add that to your roll.
Nice.
And if you have to roll a saving throw, you will do the same.
Okay.
Excellent.
Bless.
And then for my movement, I would just like to.
The
step
spirit of
forward.
Caius. The spirit of Caius goes over over skies.
Feel green instead of gray now. Let's 15 feet forward, or at least directly facing the god, trying
Sure.
to call to her attention specifically, and that's when I'll end my turn.
Great. A worthwhile turn to be sure. Elion, it's your turn.
All right.
Can I-
I'm standing. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what's up?
I just mentioned to Elion, like, that I think it could be a god, like just to give
Yeah,
him
for
the-
sure.
I'm gonna give you the warning.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, from the spectacle that I've watched, I'm kind of
I'm
in like
Sure,
personal.
you're like,
Yeah, I'm kind of like in personal awe of this. It's like a very fantastic thing that I've just seen, and I'm like a little bit baffled, and a little bit hopeless. It seems a little bit too much to master. So I'm going to use my turn to cast Message, which is a cantrip, and I'm going to point my finger towards Hadok. Message allows me to whisper to a target. They can only hear it, and they use a reaction to whisper something back. Yeah, so me and Hadok on the phone. Yeah. And I whisper to him, this seems to be of some otherworldly power. Is there anything that we can do? Is it even worth trying to fight?
No. If she is the god of fire and flame, then we are all doomed. Our fate is in her hands.
And obviously, this is telepathic. Can this
Yeah.
be telepathic?
It
Yeah,
is.
this
It is telepathic,
two-way, right?
I believe.
Yeah, well, is it like two-way? Like I can.
Yeah, it's two-way.
Yeah. I
Okay,
give
cool.
one to you, you give one to me, nobody else can hear it.
Okay, then yeah.
So, okay. So, I mean, I kind of take a deep breath and I'm like, he's still going for it. So, I will use my reaction to do Bardic Inspiration. So, I use a bonus action and I choose one creature other than myself within range. That would be Hadok. And you gain a d6. You can use it anytime within the next 10 minutes. You can roll it on any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, or healing spell. You can roll it after you've rolled your d20, but you have to roll it before you know
Before
whether
you
it
know
hits
the
or misses.
results.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have a d6 to help you.
What chord do you strum to produce this?
This is a big, solid, happy, cheery G major.
G major.
that's what I was thinking.
Do you actually play guitar like IRL?
Yeah.
Wait, this is so much better. Put the mic, put the shotgun down towards the. I'll pause the music. Hang on. It's paused for me. You have to pause it on your own if you wish for it to be paused.
Right.
Oh, turn that noise gate off. Everything you do in all the campaigns is hindered solely by your noise gate.
I need to just turn it off for good. Hold on.
The bird call, This is such a level. Bards never choose instruments they can actually play. So this is good.
So which one should I be turning off? Noise
So
suppression,
for noise suppression, or if any of these are available, or if any of these are enabled, echo cancellation, noise reduction, advanced voice activity, automatic gain control.
I think if you just turn noise suppression off, it should be fine. I think you can leave the rest for
We can
this.
start.
Okay.
Are you hearing the guitar now?
Yes.
There it
Yeah, we
goes.
can hear it.
Oh, it's so
That's the
pleasant.
chord.
That's a G major.
That's the bardic
Sure enough.
inspiration right there.
Wonderful. I'm sure there's lots of guitar playing soon to come. If I'd have known that, I would have just let you play a song at the start. Excellent. Hadok, you reap the benefits of this. The music I have played again. Excellent. Is that your turn? Or that's a bonus action, so you could still do something if you wanted to.
I could still move because I used message as my action.
Oh,
Bonus
okay.
action was bardic inspiration, so
Sure.
I can see the party from where I'm at, so I'm going to stay right here by the well.
Excellent. Up next is Veril.
Okay. I'm just gonna rush this lady. I have no regard for my own safety. So I'm gonna try to smack her with my quarterstaff. I have bless, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I doubt. I hope I don't need it anyway. That's a 23.
It's a hit.
Okay. And my damage is a very nice 5.
Hey, it's 5 damage. You're. Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna punch her twice because I can.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna be doing a lot of punching in this campaign. My first one is is she on fire right now, or she
No.
dissipated it?
She dissipated
Okay, perfect.
it.
Good. Yeah, it sounds like a good time for punching. First one is an 11. Sorry,
Nope.
13.
Nope.
13. Okay. And next one is a 16.
That hits.
Okay. 6 damage.
Okay, so you and then punch her like in the stomach or something, and she barely moves an inch.
Okay. I'm standing right in front of her, fists at the ready.
Okay, great. Up next is Jader.
I still have my longsword two-handed at the moment.
Great.
I would like to run behind her and see if there's a weak spot in the back.
There's a giant glowing eye.
That's what I was hoping for.
No, it's still just more dress.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take a swing and hopefully hit this time.
Okay. Roll d20 and then also roll a d4 and then add your attack bonus. Because of bless.
That would be a 22.
That's a hit.
Okay. And so then I roll a d10.
And add the damage bonus.
I would do 8 damage.
Nice. You swipe maybe at her legs since she's like levitating, and
Yes.
it doesn't even cut skin. Well, it does, but it's like, you know, the tiniest like slit, and like a little bit of blood begins to pour out, and then some like flames appear to like close the wound, and she doesn't budge, but she does take 8 damage. So she's taken. How much did you do, Varel?
11 total, I believe.
I did
5 and 6
and 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so 11. Alencia was correct. 11, and then Jader just did 8. Excellent. Jader, what else would you like to do with your turn?
I'm sensing this being is way out of my league, and I think I'm going to get as far away as possible.
You could conceivably jump from where you are right now. Behind her, there is a clearing in the wall. You jump a story and a half, basically.
I have strong knees. I'm going to jump.
Roll athletics.
Okay. Is that D20?
Yeah,
and then-
D20, and then you do not add bless for this. So just roll the D20 and then add
then
your
add my
athletics modifier.
That would be 17.
You are pretty easily able to land and then roll out of it. Nice little parkour roll to translate that linear momentum into rotational momentum. You're out, no problem. And you can sort of turn around and see the scene above you. Up next is Danith.
All right, so I ran back a little bit this time to protect my brother, but you know I'm still enraged, and you know even though it may not make sense to attack, you know Dan's just is still overcome by everything that has happened. Just will blindly start attacking, and this time he pulls out his longbow to attack from range, and he notices on it, there's some ineligible characters on there that have been scribbled out, and then haphazardly Elion written on top of it. So I guess at some point during his trance from Elion, decided to rename his bow to Elion. He just shakes it off a little bit and takes it out and attempts to fire an arrow.
Okay.
Straight at the forehead.
You can roll d20 and bless. Yes. And then add your attack bonus.
All right, I got 20 total.
That's a hit.
All right, and then I could do 1d8 of damage, which is 8, plus 3 piercing, so 11 total. Nice.
You draw your bow and fire, and it is a true shot straight into the top of her chest, just below her neck, and it sticks in, and she moves a little bit, and then she wraps her hand around it, snaps it, and then touches where her chest was, and it burns, and then she holds this in front of you, snaps the arrow again, and then it burns. Would you like to move?
Well, no, I'm still trying to protect my unconscious brother.
Okay.
So I'm still staying here. I bring out my swords in a cross, like that, kind of like in a defense mechanism.
Sure.
But I still don't want to move.
Okay.
So
then
someone will have to drag me kicking and screaming away from this situation.
It is her turn again. And you're looking at her. The people that are up there right now are Haddock, Veril, and Danith, right? And then Jader has jumped down.
Yeah, I jumped out.
And Alencia and Elion are out by the well.
And then Nalavir is unconscious at the back.
Yes.
Of the room.
So this woman, Chimoth, holds her hand out in front of her. And let's get... Okay, she holds her hand out in front of her, and she snaps with her other hand and produces a small blade of flame, and she catches it and twirls it in her fingers and catches it again. And then she cuts her right hand and evaporates the blade, and then she closes her fist. And as she does so, all 6 of you, 3 people know what has just happened, but all 6 of you in the surrounding area suddenly feel an overwhelming pressure. Every instinct in your body suddenly tells you to back down. This is a completely foreign feeling, but somehow it's like oddly familiar. This energy that is suddenly pervading your body that she's producing with whatever she has just done. You're totally unsure. And Veril, you can feel this new awful energy climbing through your body, and suddenly it feels as though it enters your brain. And as it does, a vision flashes before you in what feels like an hour, but is actually an instant. And I will pause the music for the stream for this moment. The sun is high in the center of the sky, directly overhead, the highest it can be. And there's not a cloud in sight. And the sun is directly over top of the God's Wall, the site of your previous vision. Suddenly, you're atop the wall yourself. And as you look down, a horrible pillar of light, this red light, in this massive pillar, erupts out of the entirety of the island of Zethus and hits the heavens. And then, for some reason, you look north towards Terrell, the land of the gods, and you see deeply dark clouds spreading from the land of Terrell southward to cover each nation of the Liseptian Ocean. And this feels so long to you, but you suddenly, come to, and you're sweating and panting at this overwhelming energy of this vision and all the energy that's pervading your body. And again, it felt like an hour, but you're able to surmise it was just an instant. And the rest of you are unable to inquire what has just happened to him, why he's falling over, because you're dealing with such immense strain over whatever has just happened. And, Alencia and Elion, you have no idea what is going on. And Jader, you're like, something has happened, you're not sure, and you're also experiencing this, overwhelming pressure. And as you struggle to look up under this overwhelming pressure, specifically Veril and Haddock and Danith, as you are struggling to look up, the woman looks to be stopped in her tracks. Chimoth seems shocked at all of you. Like, she looks concerned and worried almost, and she unclenches her fist, and some of the energy starts to dissipate out of your body, and you suddenly become exhausted. And she produces flames out of her legs, and she flies away, far into the distance, completely away. And, as she's flying away, you become exhausted, and the lingering energy draining all of your ability to stand, your eyes become heavy, and you all collapse. Each of you dreams of walking through a dense forest that you've never seen before. As you begin to look behind you, you see a tall black wall, and then you suddenly awake. Looking around you as you begin to sit up, you see various nets and hooks and some ice boxes. You're in some kind of like dark room. You're in some kind of maybe fisherman's storeroom. You're not really sure. And there's a human man with light brown skin and a tightly fitting beige shirt with 3 buttons undone on top. He's got tight black pants and some kind of large kerchief tied around his waist. And he's sitting on a crate, leaning up against the wall. He's looking at the lot of you, and he's smoking a cigarette he appears to have rolled himself. And I'm going to play this.
So the room is dim, or can we all see it?
It's dimly lit, but you can see. And he takes a puff of his cigarette, and it lights his face, and you see these, gorgeously hazel eyes. And he says, "Finally awake, are we?"
So I have dark vision, so I can see in dim light within 60 feet as if it were bright light.
Sure. So all of those of you with dark vision, you can see, this very handsome young man, maybe in his late 20s, early 30s. And he's got these tight black pants, this really beige shirt, like gorgeous, very well kept, like light brown skin, these hazel eyes, and he's just smoking this cigarette, and it looks very shoddily rolled. And he says, "The name's Orello. I found a lot of you in that burning house, and well, I brought you here. An old connection of mine owns this place. It's cold and safe and locked. Figured those were all things you might be needing at the present moment. You know, you're lucky I got there when I did. You didn't seem like you were doing the best. Well, you weren't doing quite hot, but you were quite physically hot. This is fire. But you know what I mean." And he...
Yeah, so Danith like immediately jumps up and is like wants to know how long we have been out. So he's like, "How long where are we? How long have we been out?" I feel like I've had the biggest hangover of my life.
You're Danith Lightbeard, I presume.
That is correct.
Yeah. No worries. By the way, me and some of the local boys took your family to a local inn. Which one? I did write it down. It's somewhere. I always do this. I just write a bunch of bullet points, and I'm like, I don't know, adef, figure it out. The Freetown home, I believe it was. The innkeep took them in, and the other victims of the flames as well. You were out for maybe an hour?
All right. Not as bad as I expected.
Oh, your brother, by the way. I didn't catch his name. Your brother, he's in critical condition, but I think he'll make a full recovery. The local medics are taking care of him. You know, you could thank me for that, but...
Well, it seems like it was no issue for you, no man of your composure.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
What even happened back there?
Well, you tell me. You were the ones that were there. All I saw was some woman fly away, flames ablazing, all these houses burnt down. I was sleeping off a little bit of a tipsy night and heard the commotion and figured I'd step in.
That woman was a god.
Really?
I perk up at this and I say, I was right. I think I was right.
What'd she look like?
She was fiery.
Had a long flowing dress. So I was so covered in rage I didn't catch the color.
It's red.
Red. Yeah.
He says, you know, it's dangerous to venture, this far south, let alone live it's dangerous to venture, let alone live this close to Terrell. Sometimes the gods do venture down here. That'd be Chi-Moth, by the way. Goddess of fire, I believe. You've had a full taste now to feel what it feels like to fight a god and lose.
Do you also know that?
We're not really talking about me here, friend. This is sort of your debacle here.
We could be, though.
Excuse me?
We could be talking about you.
Look, we all have our plights with the gods. It's really not my place to say right now. We just met. What are your names, the lot of you?
I'm Alencia.
Alencia. Varel. Any of the rest of you care to perk up?
My name
You
is
already
Elio.
know me.
Yes. What did you say, my friend?
My name is Elio.
Elion. Enchanté.
And Jader.
Oui.
Jader.
Orc.
Orc. That's your name?
He already does not take a liking to this fellow.
Okay. All right. Well.
Can I ask a question to my fellow travelers?
Mhm.
After I jumped out of the building, did anyone else feel a tremendous pressure, an overwhelming sense of something?
Yes.
It was indescribable.
I had another dream when that happened.
Oh.
Tell us more,
It
please.
lasted a really long time. But I saw clouds.
Just clouds.
Yeah.
Was there any defining traits, or just
near Terrell?
you know,
There were clouds.
clouds near Terrell?
For what it's worth, Danny, metaing a little bit, every piece of the vision is important. Just to put that into the world. I know your character.
I know it's important.
Yeah, no, I know. I know you're playing your character. I just want to be clear that, like, I wasn't doing my adef thing where I write a bunch of descriptors about a landscape just because I want to, like, be like, oh, look at me. I was like, actually, everything is important.
That's fine. The clouds is what I thought was important.
Sure.
What my character thought was important.
Certainly.
What do you think it means?
I don't know. Maybe the gods are angry. But
What would they be angry about?
Aren't
Aurelos,
they always angry?
Aurelos sits forward, and he looks more urgent now. And he tosses his cigarette to the ground, and he pats it out with his foot, you know, turning his foot around it, and he leans forward like this. And he looks at the lot of you, and he looks to you, specifically Varel, and then he looks at Jader, and he says, you said you felt something strange during your fight.
Yes. Do you know anything about this? Have you experienced this before?
I felt it too. Can you tell me what Chimoth did in the moments before it happened?
I had jumped out of the window, so I was not, or the building, so I did not see what happened. Varel may have caught a glimpse.
She used a fire knife to cut her fire hand.
Did she bleed?
It was all red. I don't know.
Yes, she did. She bled down.
did.
Yeah.
Varela, she did bleed. I saw it. It's as clear as day. But suddenly, right after that, she changed her demeanor. I think she, felt something else was coming, and before we knew it, flew off into the distance like nothing happened.
All six of you
It was
felt
quiet.
it. All six of you.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, this changes things a little bit. Tell me about this vision again.
So I think I was on the God's Wall, and there were clouds near Turl, because they were north. I remember the sun was that way. So yeah, they were north. That was the clouds. And then there was light that went up to the sky inside the wall.
Where was the sun?
It was kind of late, so west. No. Well, it was straight up in the air.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was straight up in the air, like right above me.
Summer solstice. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. And right as he says that, you hear some commotion outside, and Alencia, you specifically also hear like pitter-pattering feet and some yelling. And he's like, okay, I was going to go for a second anyway, but let me check that out. Stay right here. Do not move. And he darts out the back door and shuts it behind him and locks it. But you do gather the sense that he is going to be right back. And so you have a moment now, those of you that obviously did not have this vision, to sort of inquire what's going on or talk amongst yourselves.
I turned to Elion. I'm like, do you want to fight gods now?
No. There does seem to be some problems. The summer solstice, we all know what that means, right?
Yes, that is the day that offerings are sent from every nation to Zethus. These 15-year-old offerings, one from each nation, are sent on the summer solstice each year.
But this light you speak of, it doesn't happen every summer solstice, does it?
No, I only ever saw it in a dream.
At this point, Danith is like coming in. It's like, Varel, you really need to be more upfront with us on this whole dream business. There's a lot of important information there that could help us out. I know we just met, but you got to be more forthcoming with this.
Okay.
Dennis, why do you?
I don't know how to respond to that.
What did you say, Alencia?
I said, why do you think they came after your family?
Well, they were just farmers. Like they didn't do anything special. I mean, not that I know of. It as far as I could tell, it appeared to be pretty random. Maybe, she was going for numbers or trying to find a particular person amongst. I have 10 siblings, and half of them living at home, and I'm not sure. Maybe she was trying to hunt for something specific. I'm not sure. Do you know anything about this, Arello? Do you know what she?
Oh, Arello has walked
potentially
out.
wants?
Arello
yeah,
had walked out.
Arello.
I have a question
so
for
I'm
Veryl.
not sure she wanted something.
Yeah, shoot, Jader.
Veryl, from the dream that you initially had, does this? Are you getting the sense that this is
Well, not
the party?
I've had a lot of dreams before. The dream that I mentioned earlier.
The dream when you came to visit me in Releron.
That dream.
You had a sense of you were looking for a certain group. Are you getting the sense that we're all gathered together?
Yep. We found 5 and 6 earlier. You were 1, 2, and 3.
Just wanted to make sure this was the group.
Yeah, and I think the fact that we found a god like right after we all found each other, that's probably a good sign.
Dude, I love your character.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, amazing. Any other things you'd like to discuss?
I think we're set.
Excellent. I'll take this moment while Fu is running just to say that a quick plug in the middle here. Please follow the players. If a mod or somebody could type !follow, please. And please follow the players. They're all on Twitch. They're all wonderful people. Truly talented streamers. So please give them a follow. And consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. YouTube.com/Speedrunners Dragons is where this content goes after it is here. You can catch up on Campaign 1 if you'd like. It all goes there.
Do the whole Brady Bunch thing. It's like, yeah, follow Danny B right up there. Make sure to hit
Marsha.
DGR Dave over here.
Oh, by the way,
Bobby,
Dave.
Fantastic right over here.
Dave, do you want me to put in the YouTube descriptions your YouTube or your Twitch? Or both?
Oh, I don't care.
Wow. Okay, fine.
Good answer. Okay.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I put your Twitch, I think. I'm not
That's
sure.
perfect. That's perfect.
Excellent. Welcome back, Fu. You missed a plug. That's basically it. And Jader confirmed with Veryl that the initial dream was regarding the 6 of you. He wanted to confirm that, like, you're the 6 that Veryl saw in the dream, and Veryl said that it was probably good news that you found a god right afterwards, because clearly it seems to be the right group.
Okay. While this is going on, I'm just gonna be grooming myself off with any soot, trying to get off.
Sure. So Arello walks back in, and he sort of quickly opens the door and shuts it and sits back down on the crate and leans forward really close to all of you, and he says, assassins, I think? Sent by the gods, if I had to guess. They work fast as ever. I recommend you sneak out of town, if what you say is true, Veryl, and there is something happening with Terrell and Zethys on the summer solstice, then we probably should warn the nations, because the gods might be planning something. And the fact that, well, yes, so that only gives us 31 days, right? Plus, we need you lot to get stronger, because it seems the gods want your heads. Evidently, Chimoth noticed that you all sort of felt her energy and thought it might be best if somebody else handled this. Chimoth, actually, yeah, she must have told them that you felt her brink. Okay, sneak out of town, don't get seen, and head east.
Wait.
I'll meet you in the ports of Krellerin in 3 days' time. If you can make it, I'll take you across the ocean. Stop nowhere, interact with no one, waste no time anywhere in Kastash. I'll have 6 horses at the stable at the eastern edge of Freetown. Ride them east. And with that, I gotta go. I can't be seen here. And Arello darts out the door and he's gone.
What?
I think we just got caught up in a bigger adventure.
Did he say it was no longer safe here?
Yeah, so he said,
Well,
just to recount, because I spoke quite quickly,
Uh-huh.
he has said that he wants you to sneak out of town and not to get seen because there are assassins, evidently, that he thinks the gods have hired for you.
Okay. Mm.
And he says, waste no time in Kastash. He's got 6 horses at a stable on the eastern edge of Freetown. He says if you can sneak there and ride east to Krellerin, the capital city of Kastash, he'll get you out of the country.
This sounds like a job for Pass Without Trace. By the way, did what we just experienced count as a short rest? Or
Yes. Yes.
No? Great. Okay.
Danny, explain for the party what that means.
Yes. So Pass Without Trace is a spell.
No. Short rest.
What?
Short rest.
Explain short rest.
You're a mechanic.
Oh,
Yeah,
we talked about it earlier. Oh, for the viewers, yeah.
For everyone.
In general, what a short rest is.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
So when you take a short rest, which is any rest that is not as long as 8 hours, I think, or 4 if you are part elf, then you get to heal by rolling your hit dice. You have as many hit dice as you have levels usually. So we're level 3 right now, so you should have 3 hit dice. For example, my hit dice are D8, but other classes might have a D10, and you can spend as many of them as you want on any short rest, and they get refreshed after a long rest, and you can heal as much as you roll.
Yeah, so it's sort of like a bank from which you can pull health, but once you spend a hit die, you can't use it again, like Danny said, until you've had a long rest.
Yep. Personally, my spellcasting ability also refreshes on short rests, which is pretty cool.
But yeah, if you haven't lost any health, you obviously don't need to spend a hit die if you don't want to.
Yep.
Also,
Yes.
if we engage in a short rest and any of you uses your hit dice to regain hit points, I can use Song of Rest, which is an ability that I have that allows you to add an extra d6 to that total.
Is anybody
What
using
chord
any
is
hit
it?
dice?
What chord is this one? This one's a D minor.
D minor. Ooh.
If anybody's using it. If not, then I'll save it for later. It's not a spell, it's just an ability, so I can just do it at short rests.
I think everybody's all right.
Yeah.
So, you have been given your task.
Yeah. So I was saying that I think this it's a good time to use the Pass Without Trace spell. So I sort of like close my eyes and meditate a little bit. And for the next hour, everybody in the party gets, as long as we stay within 30 feet of each other, we got to travel together, get a +10 bonus to stealth and can't be tracked except by magic. Nobody leaves any tracks or traces behind.
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty nice. Handy.
Incredible.
That would have been nice
All
for
right.
Lucius.
Well, well, I want to make sure that Danith, Elion, and Hadak are going on this journey with us. I'm with you, Varel, but I would like to make sure everyone else is with us as well.
Absolutely.
Well, my fate led me here to play music, but if there are assassins, I'm a wandering traveler myself, so I would not mind getting the hell out of here.
And
And
then,
I have my own qualm against the gods. However, it would be near suicide if we let them find us here.
yeah, no. They targeted my house. They're probably looking for me. I think the safest thing for my family is to get as far away from them as possible. Leave them be. I hope my brother can recover. And everybody can deal with the loss of
And,
our parents. But
you know, Danith, you
we
also
need to-
you surmise that your elder siblings, whose names escape me, will likely, of which there are 5, will
5 elder siblings, 5 younger siblings.
they
I'm the
will
middle
likely come in from Kastash to take care of your family.
Yeah, so yeah, I think I am the biggest threat to their well-being. So I am in Varel.
Jader,
So-
nice call. Nice call. Cool. Well, if you guys are ready to head out, you can hit the streets.
Yeah, I'm finna head out.
Yeah, I'm finna head out. You guys want anything?
Yeah, I missed my opportunity to say you have my bow.
Fu, you were gonna say something?
I just wanted to just listen out, like on our way out the door. Just
Sure.
make
Roll perception.
all good for us to just kind of head on. So we got to figure out how close we are to the boat. We're taking a boat, right?
You're gonna take the horses and ride across the country to Krellerin, which is where you will evidently take a boat.
Okay. So we're gonna find horses.
Mm-hmm.
Perception, 20.
Great. So at the back door where Arello went out, you can't really hear much, but you can hear that maybe around the building on the main street, which this building clearly is like near Main Street, maybe in an alleyway. On Main Street, there is some ruckus and some quick-moving feet.
Okay.
But
All
you
right,
can go out the
careful,
back door.
Careful, everyone. I hear movement about close to us. Keep on guard.
Is it worth it for us to cash in on the stealth roll?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Everybody roll stealth. Roll a d20, add your stealth modifier, and then add 10 because of Danny's spell.
32.
Great. Sounds like a gouger roll.
I got 31.
Excellent. Jader,
29.
29. I almost said Lucius. Varel.
23.
And I almost said Caius. Hadak.
16.
Okay, still fine. Like, reasonable roll. And Elion.
33.
Okay.
Ease.
Still the highest stealth roll, even though it's not your thing.
This time.
Great. You're all able to be stealthy so long as you stay in this 30-foot radius of Varel. What is your sort of order? How are you gonna, when you open the door a little bit, you do see this like cobble alleyway, and you can see Main Street to your left and grass to your right.
So we're looking around to see, are like the horses within. They're on the east side.
So
of
Danith,
town.
you're familiar with town.
Yeah, I would say Danith should
Yeah.
probably lead the way.
Yeah,
Danith,
so,
you know this. You've kind of gathered what this shop is. It's a fisherman's shop that you're familiar with. You think you're maybe 200 meters from the stable, which is you think you exit out the right towards the grass and then go south a little bit and then east along a small road, and there's a stable there.
All right, so I inform the party as like, all right, I've got my bearings straight. The stables aren't far from here. We should make haste to the south. And I ask, cause I'm slow. I ask Varel if I could hop on the shoulders again.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I'm not sure if they're still broken from
I
before.
think the shoulders thing. I thought I was like,
I thought
well,
you were a halfling or like you're a dwarf, right?
I'm a
yeah.
dwarf.
So
Okay.
here's the thing: Danith is heavy and Varel is thin.
Yeah, you're heavier.
Oh yeah. We can't do this. But I could bring it up like Varel can like.
You're just like you're dense. You're a dense boy.
Like, all right, I'll help it myself if I have to.
So as you enter the cold night air, Danith leading the party, you step onto cobble and it's properly nighttime now. Maybe midnight. You're not sure. Could be 11 o'clock. Really, could be anything. And to your left, you do hear some commotion and some moving torches, and you see Danith, roll perception.
Alrighty. I've got a 17.
You see two figures walk by, and you're just about to exit, but you catch a glimpse of them step just in front of the alleyway, and they're talking to each other. And it is this very tall man in big armor, and an elf woman who has a bow on her back. And she's like, I just think they're still here. And you hear this booming voice that's like, I don't think so. And the two of them are sort of talking back and forth for a moment, and they're sort of arguing, and then they go their separate ways.
Yeah, so in that meantime, I tell everybody, while that's happening, I'm telling everybody, hey, stop. There's someone here, they're looking for us. It's I'm not sure who they're affiliated with.
And you
what
gather,
they're here to do.
these might be
And
these
then I'm
assassin
seeing-
people.
Yeah, it's they're probably part of the assassin crew out here for us. And then I wait a moment, I hear them, okay, they're off our trail, they don't know we're here. We gotta move extremely carefully. They're not here now, they just left. We need to get to the stables as soon as we can. The more we're here, the higher chance we're gonna get caught. We gotta move. So I urge everybody, continue on, and we're continuing heading south towards the road.
Sure. So the six of you can kind of hug the side of the backs of these buildings. as you're sort of hopping from alleyway to alleyway, and the skinny man, you can see the stables in view. You're only like 60 meters from them. You're heading south. You're about to turn left onto that road to make it to the stables, but the skinny man is running down this street, and he has a torch in hand, and he's waving it to and fro, and he's just about to yell when he sees you guys. Not for any like foul reason, you just think he's supposed to find you because that's what he's been told. But you all I'll say that the quickest among you probably would be Alencia in this moment. Might have like the knee-jerk reaction. Alencia, you can take some kind of action to stop this.
To stop the yell?
Yeah, like you can tell he's about to see you, and so he'll probably say something if he sees you.
I wonder if I can like literally pounce on top of him and just cover him with a paw.
Yeah, roll acrobatics.
Okay. 15.
You jump out in front of the party. Some of you didn't catch glimpse of him right away, but as you jump, you all catch glimpse of this skinny guy that has just yelled and fainted so many times. And you clobber him to the ground and cover his mouth, and he's like... and then he faints. He's just out instantly, and you can like remove your hand. He's not making any noise anymore. But you're good to you're good to go.
Well done, El. Well done.
Thank you.
And now you can sort of make it to the stables, basically no problem, it seems.
This man is as powerful as the gods to see through a 33 stealth roll.
Well, you thought he was like walking towards you. You weren't occluded by anything, and you could say he might have seen Hadak, who had the lowest roll. Let's say, yes. Would you just let me have my story,
Thanks,
Danny?
Hadak.
Would you just let me have
I
it?
just want to be Drax, like standing there still.
Amazing.
Eating the bag of chips.
Yeah. It's a great bit.
It really is.
Excellent. But yeah, you're able to make it to the stables, and just like Arello said, there are 6 horses, and there is a note next to the horses that says, "These are yours," and it's signed A.
Hey.
There's
Hey.
Arello, I'm guessing.
Okay. I thought it was a no. A makes sense.
Aurello.
I get it. I got it.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
all right.
to figure out
It
how
all
I would
makes sense.
How you would what?
how I would ride a horse.
Just perched up on top of it?
Yeah, I assume I have to like I would claws go in, but not to the horse. Like I'd have to
Into the saddle, maybe?
the saddle.
There's a
Yeah.
saddle. You could claw into the saddle.
Just
could,
loaf.
like,
Just
I
loaf
have
on top.
handles, it,
Yeah,
I
you'd be fine.
Okay.
So you're all able to like mount your respective horses. Everybody roll. Actually, who's in the back? Who's in the back of the party? Varel maybe is like my intuition.
Sure.
Well, actually, he should be in the middle for the stealth, if we're thinking logically.
Good
That's
point.
true.
So maybe Hadak.
I would say like I was gonna say like since yeah probably.
Hadak, roll
I'm probably
perception.
leading people because I know where
Right.
we're going.
Right.
So I'll be in front.
Hadak and Jader roll perception.
That is a 2.
Okay, Jader.
7.
Okay. Everything seems normal. Everything's fine.
Okay, great.
Nothing bad could possibly happen.
So you all get on your horses and you start to gallop off, and it seemed urgent. Maybe you really give this thing a whoopah, and it takes off. But as this is happening, Jader, an arrow flies by your left ear and narrowly misses you, and it keeps going straight, like it doesn't fall for some time. And as you turn around, there is... let's get this music. As you turn around, there is a woman. It's this tallish elf woman, and she's drawing another arrow, and she's beginning to pull it. And she holds it up, and you can't really make out what she looks like. And Alencia, it's a little too far for dark vision already. but she then looses another. What was that?
So
Yeah.
you have to be out of 60 feet. Gotcha.
Yeah, so she's like 80 feet away at this point, and she looses another arrow, and it's beginning to travel. But Jader, you can say something.
Watch out.
Nice. And all of you sort of turn around instinctively at this, and none of you can really see the arrow, but you do see this woman being lit on her back by torchlight, and you see a large figure, and they look like both of the ones that you saw, Danith. A large figure begins to round the corner as well, but he's slow. And
Are
you
they
can't...
running or riding?
You're riding, so you're gaining tons of ground, but this second arrow, maybe... Oof. Jader, does a 19 hit you?
Ooh.
How do I check that?
Your
again?
armor class. Is your armor
Yes,
class
it does.
19
Yep,
or
that
lower?
hits. Yeah, that's
you
a
will
hit.
Take
Oof.
10 damage. The arrow sticks into your thigh. And, you sort of fall forward on your horse, but the horse continues, as if nothing has changed. And the 6 of you ride into the darkness and are able to escape. The ride through the evening is uneventful as you sort of, you're going through the large giant's wood, and Jader, perhaps, you pulled out the arrow and tended to it a little bit. Whether you tell your party that the arrow hit or not is totally up to you.
It is but a flesh wound. I want to act tough in this situation, and I'm going to not alert them, even though I screamed when I got hit.
Okay, great.
They didn't hear. They somehow didn't hear that scream.
Excellent. So the 6 of you, riding through the night, are able to just barely make it out of the giant's wood without hitting any trees and into the clearing. And Kastash, if you look at the map, is really just this like, and I can pull it up for everybody in the stream for a second here. Kastash is just this like a big open Greenland, basically green set of land of green, not the country. After the Giant's Wood, and there are trees here and there, and mountains to the north, and there's obviously Relero there in the middle. But you're just on a one-track mission, the lot of you. And so, just in interest of time, I will say that you ride for 3 days' time, and it's reasonable to assume that all of you will have taken a long rest by now, at least once. You hunted your own game. Long rest, by the way, means you recover all your hit dice and all your health and all your spell slots. You hunted your own game. You tried not to stop anywhere for too long, as Aurelio told you. But it was a beautiful ride across Kastash, and one that you kind of all just did the other day, except for Danith, who lived in Freetown. And it's, a scary ride. You're really uncertain about what is to come. You just fought a goddess. She nearly killed you. She seems like she could have if she wanted to, but some strange power that she saw you reacted to caused her to stop. I mean, now you've got assassins on your tail. A lot is happening in the span of 24 hours. But you ride for 3 days' time, and on the final day, long after you have already made the turn south on the Krellerin Peninsula, you're only an hour or so ride away from the capital city, Krellerin, the capital city of Kastash. You begin to be able to see the tops of the towers of the old and storied city. And this portion of the ride is rather flat. And the water, the ocean, is on your left and your right. And it's gorgeous. I mean, the sun is shining on it. It's late morning. And you can also begin to see the immense God's Wall to your left. You've all seen it before. It's been there for 30 years. But you see it now, this towering black structure. It's a bizarre eyesore on the otherwise blue waters. And it obviously occludes Zethus, which it surrounds. And everybody roll perception.
While we're doing this, I'll say, like, I just comment on the wall as, like, it never, like, every single time you see it, it just appears unreal that, such a structure even exists. Like, you just never, lose the sense of amazement from it, as I'm just saying. And I rolled a nat 20 perception.
All right, well, we'll just take that. You're all fine.
Do I have my whole health back? I'm sorry to
yes,
interrupt.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a quick question about the map.
Sure.
How big is? I mean, I guess just what's the scale of the map? Like, how big is the God's Wall on to a side, for example?
Sure. I'll put the map back up. Kastash is the smallest country in the realm. Dwome not far behind, but Kastash is the smallest, and it's a 3 days ride, stopping not that much from Freetown to Krellerin, which is kind of like edge to edge. So that's like, I mean, how far can you ride on a horse in a day? Like 30 miles, 40 miles, maybe more? I don't
do
know.
more like 70, 80.
70, 80? I think that's
You can
reasonable.
go pretty far on a horse.
I would say it's like 250 miles edge to edge from Freetown to Krellerin. Each one is like the width of like a thinner state. Like if you drove edge to edge in Massachusetts or Nevada, maybe.
So the God's Wall is probably like 80 miles to a side or something crazy like that.
Yes.
Cool.
And it is immensely tall enough that it like when the sun is on the other side of it, it casts a far shadow.
Like, is it just like in the clouds right now? We can't even see the top.
Yeah, and sometimes of day it is impossible to see the top. And it only opens once a year. There's a small opening once a year, which is where the offerings sail into. Okay. So, Danith, and the rest of you, I guess. You see a man standing in the middle of your path. Excuse me. And he's wearing what looks to be... It's kind of hard to see. You're like maybe 200 feet away at this point. But he looks to be wearing red and black clothes and a red hooded cloak. And he has like glasses on that don't have sides to them. They like just perch like this, you know, disregard my other fingers. They perch like this and have a little bridge over them. And they're yellow. Or no, they're red, pardon me. They're red, and they're around and just encompass his eyes. They're very small glasses. And they have little slits in the sides of them, but he has this black and red hooded cloak. And he's standing, arms crossed, in your path. And as you approach him, you get within like 50 feet of him. What you do is up to you.
Well, shoot.
Who's riding in front to see him first?
I'm riding in front. And, I would say I just tell everybody halt. Like, halt for a second. Like everybody gets, I would say, like gets in line, you know, side to side.
Sure.
And you know, we see this person. You don't want to get too close, in case it's like something's not right with this person here in the road. And it's like
You do
and I
catch
ask
like a
around the
weird
party.
energy from him.
Yeah, like I'm just sensing this very strange aura emanating from this person. I ask around the party, does anybody recognize this?
Can I call out to this person?
Certainly.
Can
Hello?
I...
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I want to... You should do your thing first.
Hello, friend. Can we help you?
I'm afraid this is as far as you go, you six. The others... Okay. Oh, what?
Can I listen in while he's talking? I want to listen to the surroundings while he's talking.
Everything's kosher around you. Just
okay.
the rushing of water and the blowing of wind.
Okay. So
and he says, the others thought it best to catch you in Freetown, but I figured you've already moved on. Looks like I was right.
Can I
This guy's
take a...
smart.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
He seems pretty smart.
Can I take a study at like his garb and probably like use my religion to see if
Sure,
he's like
roll...
connected with the gods or whatnot?
Connected with the green hand?
Yeah. I was literally about to.
I heard you start to say it. The green hand is the villain in our first campaign.
That's a 21 for the religion check.
It does not remind you of any religious garb. Nor any garb you recognize. This seems to just be his feng shui.
Mm.
So he then says, Are you, the 6 of you, really the ones that fought Chimoth? And you lived? You don't look like much. Did she spare you?
She kind of just left.
And I attempt to bluff here and say, scared us? I mean, I think you have it all wrong. She was afraid of us, not the other way around.
Roll deception.
I got a 19.
And to kind of like back him up, I would just say like,
You know, the gods are never merciful. If we are standing here today, then there is a direct reason why.
He outrolled you. He says,
Damn.
look, I'd love to stay here and just idle chit-chat. It really sounds like it'd be a blast. But I know quite well that Lady Chimoth, in all her flaming power, would not just let anyone go. So clearly she saw something in you, evidently, and then asked me to take care of you, and I must oblige. Well, let's cut the talk, shall we? Let's see what you've got. Everybody roll initiative. And give me 1 second.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I know, same. Ooh.
Let's get Hadak.
I got a 17.
Okay. And Elion.
10.
10. Elencia.
9. Azui?
9.
Neuf?
9. Veryl.
13.
13. Oh my god. Jader.
4.
4. And Danith, pardon me.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 1 plus 3 initiative gives me 4. I don't know if the nat 1 is important for this.
No, not for initiative. Luckily, it does not matter. Up first is Hadak, and you are on horseback. I really should have planned what that even means, but I didn't. Nor have I don't think I've ever run a battle on horseback, so we'll just figure it out as we go along. Your movement speed is high, or you can dismount, but your reach is difficult. Just so you know.
Oh, I got.
And of course, he can always kill the horses.
Can I order my horse to go forward, jump off the horse, and attack with my mace?
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead
Okay,
and do that.
mounting.
Oh.
I have Googled it.
Nice.
Mounting and dismounting a creature, i.e. a horse, costs an amount equal to half your movement speed. So if your movement speed is 30, it is 15 feet to dismount, or 15 feet to mount.
Still 50 feet away?
Yes.
50. Okay.
What's a horse's movement speed?
Let's say 80? No, it's probably faster than that. Usain Bolt can run the 100-meter in 9 seconds. 9.7 something, and a horse is certainly faster than Usain Bolt.
Well, if the horse will move.
I'm gonna say... Well, let's find out. I bet it's listed somewhere. I'm gonna say like 150 probably, but let's find out. Horse movement speed. No, I need to put D&D, or I'm just gonna get Wikipedia articles on horses.
On horses, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they have a riding horse at 60. I think that's lowballing it personally, but whatever.
So we got 60 feet
60.
to work with.
Yes.
Is there any advantage or disadvantage for attacking from a mount?
I think if you have like a shorter weapon, it will be a disadvantage. But like if you are holding a weapon with reach, it will be normal. But shooting a bow is normal as well.
Well, let's see what Hadak can do here. Cool. Let us ride up toward this very, very sinister figure. And I'm actually gonna cast Spiritual Weapon, which is actually a bonus action, but I can create a floating spectral weapon within range that lasts for the duration, which is a minute, or until I cast a spell again. When I cast a spell, the spectral weapon can attack, and on a hit, it takes force damage equal to 1d8 plus spellcasting modifier. So I will use this chance to attack with my spiritual weapon from horseback. There's a 16 hit.
Yes.
Then I will take like 6 damage.
Okay.
I can't use.
What was it that you hit him with?
With the spectral weapon, it's force damage.
What is the weapon? Like, what does it look like?
We'll say like Warhammer.
Okay. You are riding by and hit him, and he falters a little bit, and some blood, spurts perhaps.
It's the weapon's like spectral, like floating, like I'm not wielding it.
Oh, it's a distance.
Yes.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Yeah, you hit him with the thing, and then it comes back to you, I guess.
Like Thor.
Yeah. It's the hand axe of Hjoldnar.
Yeah.
The power of Hjoldnar.
The power of Hold Hjoldnar. Patty is with us.
But yeah, after that, like I'm so far ahead. I'll end my turn. I'll like try to like.
So did you stay in place?
No, I wanted to like move behind him so it would be like me, then him, and then like the rest of the squad.
Okay, sure.
The spiritual weapon moves out like it's like 5 feet like in front of us.
Okay, and you could get 10 feet behind him total.
Okay, yeah. Then that'll be my turn.
Okay, that was 17. Varel.
Okay, how far? He's 50 feet away?
Yes,
and
sir.
I can move 60.
Yes, sir.
So, you said that dismounting a horse is half of my movement speed.
Correct.
Is my movement speed just the horse's movement speed on this turn?
When you're on it, yes.
Okay, so I can't get up to him to melee range and dismount.
I think you can use the horse's full movement and your full movement. I'm making that executive decision. So
Okay.
you can ride up to him and use half of your movement to dismount.
Gotcha. Okay, so half of my movement is 23.
Yes, round up.
So I'll get within 23 feet of him, and then cover the rest on foot, so the horse isn't right in his face. And then I'll smack him with my quarterstaff, and get a 16.
That hits.
Okay. And the damage is 5.
Okay.
And then I'm going to punch him. Again. Quick uppercut right after the quarterstaff.
Sure. I love
17?
the idea that it's like really quick. Yeah, that hits. Like the quarterstaff, then comes the fist within like a second. That is very ninja-like.
That is 7 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to take the dodge action. So anybody who is attacking me has disadvantage on that turn. And I have advantage on dex saves.
On this turn?
Until the start of my next turn.
Okay. You'll have to remind me of that, because I will not remember.
Yep.
Excellent. Is that your
wait,
turn?
I'm sorry. I cannot do that because the unarmed strike was my bonus action.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now
Still
don't
learning.
remind me of it. Is that your turn?
Yes, that's my turn.
Okay. Elion.
Oui. It is my turn. I stay where I'm at. I am going to point at this assassin and use message. And I'm going to say to them, turn around while you can. Go back to the god that sent you. Tell them that we have been dispatched and we will not kill you.
Do you wish to try to persuade him of this?
Sure.
Roll persuasion.
Ooh, I didn't. It's not going to work, but 12.
Yeah, no, he beats that out, unfortunately. He says, I'm sorry, I'm not really serving the gods, they're paying me, so I'm not gonna go back to them. I'm actually gonna kill you and collect my payment, okay?
Alrighty. Well, that was my turn, but I'm going to use my bonus action to use Mantle of Inspiration, which is a College of Glamour skill at the 3rd level. I use one of my Bardic Inspiration tokens to, within 60 feet of me, so everybody, I guess. What does it say? I can expend, when I do so, it doesn't say, okay, it says I weave a song of fey magic that imbues my allies with vigor and speed. So I can choose a number equal to my charisma modifier, which is 5. All 5 of you gain 5 temporary hit points, and you all, as a consequence of this, have a reaction to move your movement speed without provoking opportunity of attack, if you so choose.
When?
Right now, as a reaction.
Oh, this instant.
This instant. All 5 of you can choose to move your movement speed as a reaction right now without incurring an opportunity of attack.
I'll do that since I'm right there in his face.
You back up?
45 feet back. Yep.
And you all get 5 temporary hit points.
You could also get on your horse, Varel.
That's true. I'll stay on foot.
Okay.
I'm pretty speedy.
Sure.
I'm also gonna dismount and get some distance from my horse, but not. I don't really want to venture. Like I'll get like 10 feet closer
Okay.
to him, but
Sure.
I still want to stay at a distance.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to get a little closer on my horse.
Sure. Yeah, no, you're both good.
Yeah.
I would like to. Can I use this to dismount? Right?
Yes, you can use this half of your movement speed to dismount.
Yeah. Then I'll dismount. Then I'll still approach him with his back turned to me.
Okay. And Danith, God.
Yeah.
God, Danith.
I have not
All right.
let a single swear fly in this whole stream. It's not really for any particular reason. I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I'm doing it.
He's
So-
doing it.
Hey,
Gosh
congratulations.
darn it. Dang it. Yeah, gosh
Danith.
dang it. All right.
Danith.
I'm going to move 20 feet closer, but I think that's still going to keep me at a decent range away.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also,
I'm
temporary
charging
hit
straight
points.
in.
Temporary hit points are like yellow hearts in Breath of the Wild, basically. So once you lose them, you can't get them back, and you can't heal into them either.
But like after battle, do we still keep them? Even if we
Yes, until you lose them.
And we got 5, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
5. Yep.
That is a lot. Excellent. Is that your turn?
I will move 10 feet forward as well, just to kind of stay close to the group, but farthest away.
Okay. After Elion is Alencia.
I'm gonna use my longbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Roll to hit.
21.
That's a hit.
Okay. And then let's see. A D8. Yeah. 5.
Did you add your modifier? The damage bonus?
Yeah, I did.
Excellent.
Yeah, 'cause I rolled a 1.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, did I? Wait, maybe I did that wrong.
How so?
X plus. Oh, I have another 2, actually. So 7.
Okay. Excellent. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I'd like to stay kind of far away.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Sure. Up next is this guy.
This guy.
This
This
dude.
guy.
This
Get a load
dude.
of this guy.
He's going to first. You know what he's gonna do? Okay, this is what he's gonna do.
What's he gonna do?
And what's he gonna do?
What's he gonna do?
What's he gonna do?
He's gonna look at all of you and be like, "Well, if that was your best, I'm a little unimpressed. Let's give you one more go, shall we?" And he like produces a bow out of flames, and he draws the bow with a flaming arrow. And he... Oh, I didn't take his reaction on everybody. Who attacked him physically?
I did.
All right. I'm gonna retcon you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No.
When he takes damage
How
from
does this work? How does this work? Because I attacked him twice in succession. Is it after I finish attacking him?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Reacts to any attack and causes 2d6 fire damage so long as the attacker is within 10 feet.
Oh, okay.
You take 8 fire damage,
Dang.
Varel.
I assume that means I should remove it from my main hit points because I didn't get my 5 until after.
Sure.
5 extra.
I mean, either way, it'll end up being the same, but yes.
I guess so.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's like a reaction flame attack that he's able to do upon damage when people are within 10 feet. Oh, you can roll to try to prevent that. Sorry. Roll a Constitution saving throw. I designed this encounter, and I'm unsure what's happening.
Constitution saving throw. 7.
Yeah, no, you take the damage that you took.
Gotcha.
So yeah, he conjures this flaming bow and draws it and shoots at Alencia, who shot at him.
Okay, so I learned a bit about favored enemies today.
Okay.
How does that affect combat?
Well, I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna find out.
So we chose an aberration as her favorite enemy type. This guy is probably not that.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure.
Oh, I see.
Is that like a hunter thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a ranger thing. So she'll get advantages and stuff on finding and learning about her favorite enemies.
Gotcha.
If we ever encounter any aberrations.
Oh, why is it?
It's not an aberration.
No, aberrations are like mind flayers and weird worm monsters and
You just, with
lizards.
elemental power, I gotta check.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. He is a human.
Okay.
Though evil as he may seem. So he shoots at you, Alencia. Yeah, that hits for sure. 16. Does that hit you? Your armor class is 13, right?
No, I have a 15.
15, and what did I say? 16? So yeah, that
Yeah.
hits.
Still
So
good.
tie or higher hits.
Right.
So that'll be a hit, and then I will roll damage. Can someone who has a longbow tell me what they roll for their longbow?
Roll a 1d8.
1d8.
For a longbow.
Plus,
And plus 3 piercing.
well, it's plus dex, right?
Yeah, Dex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you take 7 damage and 6 fire damage.
Ooh.
Oh my god, ow.
That's a big hit.
So this
Bye-bye
this
temporary
arrow
points.
made of flame. It is not a flaming arrow. It is an arrow made of flame.
So 7 and then another 6.
Yes, strikes you in the side,
Ow. Okay.
and you falter a bit. It's quite the hit.
Yeah,
And
ow.
he just the same as it appeared, it disappears out of his hands, and the fire sort of swirls around and dissipates. And then he says, "Well, on second thought, you're not seeming so difficult. This doesn't seem like a challenge to me." Oh well. And Jader, it's your turn.
Is there any way I can get close enough where I can do like a Zelda-style dismount and slash with my one-handed longsword?
Yes, 1 second. Alencia, what's up? You
I-
are wrapped in thought.
Yes, Danny, I'm looking at this. There's a lot to remember. I
Yes,
apologize.
certain. No, it's first time. No worries.
With since I am a Fey Wanderer subclass, it says 1d psychic, the 1d4 psychic damage each turn if hit. I may have been ignoring that. Is that something you said? It's
Yes, you can apply that on any weapon attack. I thought it was.
right, any weapon. So I've been accidentally not doing that.
Well, now we know. When
Yeah.
you hit a creature with a
Not
weapon, you can deal an extra 1d4 psychic damage to the target, which can take this extra damage only once per turn. The extra damage
Right.
increases to 1d6 when you reach 11th level.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there you
Oh,
go.
it's a flat buff.
Yes.
I can talk. Excellent. Yes, we'll do that henceforth.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I've just been completely forgetting about it. Okay. Good. Just
Jader,
wanted-
you can absolutely do that. Absolutely.
Oh, I'm gonna do it then. And then I'm going to slash with my longsword, hopefully.
Sure, and roll to hit.
Oh my gosh.
It's bound to happen. It's
Oh,
bound to
gosh.
happen.
Well, it was a 1 plus 7.
Oh, is a 1?
It was a nat 1.
My dear
It was a
boy.
nat 1.
My dear
It was
boy.
a nat 1.
So you're riding on the horse, and as you try to dismount, you're getting ready. You're so ready to do this dismount. It's gonna be so epic. You're psyching yourself up. By the way, how young are you? You're like pretty young,
I'm
right?
25.
Yeah.
I'm
So
25.
you know you got some vim and some vigor behind your
Oh,
blood.
yeah.
And you are like, go! And you roll off the horse, and then you fall in front of the horse, and the horse tramples you for a moment, and you roll along the ground, and you're just like, oh, ow! And you take 2 damage. You take 2 damage from the horse. And
Perfect. Just how I wanted to do it.
you lay on the ground from your horse, newly wounded body from the horse, awaiting your next turn, unfortunately.
Oh, so you're prone now too.
Yeah, he's
Excellent.
prone.
Yeah, this is right where I wanted him.
You're right where I wanted you.
This is quite the eventful battle already.
I know.
I love it.
Danith.
All right, so Danith sees what Jader attempted to do, and he goes over to him and is like, "Step aside, Junior. Let me show you how the pros do it." And attempts to do a similar maneuver except with a bow.
Are you gonna try to jump off the horse as well?
I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna jump off the horse. Just now, charge an arrow, Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
In a literal
Lob it.
game of horse.
Roll. Well, I guess we're just doing. Well, no, you're trying to jump off and shoot in midair, right?
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Roll athletics first.
I got a nat 20 on the athletics.
Oh my god.
This guy.
Wow.
This guy.
I
All right.
sense a rivalry brewing.
You do a triple front flip, I can only assume.
Yes.
Um,
No, I'll also do like a twist, a midair.
oh,
twist.
you're doing a twist. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
it's a cork. You're doing a cork. You can't flip 3
cork.
times and cork. No way. So double flip cork, we'll say, and then you draw the bow. Roll to hit. And I'll say because of the nat 20 athletics, we'll roll with advantage on this hit.
Beautiful.
All right, I got 14 plus 5 for
Yeah, that hits.
9 for the hit.
You mean 19?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that hits. Also,
Okay,
roll a
and
second
then-
d20 just in case you get a crit. Because you're
I got
rolling
a
with advantage.
12.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
All right, it hits.
Okay. All right. So now the damage for this, I think I misunderstood something with the dex. So it's like 1d8 for the bow, and is like the piercing damage just like your dex bonus, or is that something else entirely? That
The
goes on
entire
top
thing
of
is
it?
piercing damage. It's you get a bonus that's dex. Yes.
Okay, so it's like one. So like my dex is 3, so it's a 1d8 plus 3 for the overall
Yep.
damage.
I
okay.
believe so.
All right, so I rolled a 6, so that's 11 damage.
Okay, very nice. So, oh no, Dave has run. All right, well,
All right, well, anyway, so I understand needing running after that show up I just did, but I'm looking. So he may not be here to see it, but I'm looking over. I just do like a kind of a maneuver, like as I land ahead. I land perfectly, like
superhero
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my turn.
Excellent. Before I say what happens next, we are nearing the end of the evening, everybody. So I would once again ask you to please follow the players. Exclamation point follow, please. And
Follow them.
them. Follow these players.
Yep.
They stream. Many of them are full-time streamers. You can catch them I am willing to bet that on any given day of the week, one of the 7 of us will stream at least. In fact, I'm going to say 7, choose 2. I'm going to say 2 people out of this group of 7 is likely to stream any day of the week at least.
Yep.
So if you want to catch these players as themselves playing video games or doing cool stuff, check out their channels. So Jader, what you missed? He did the double flip.
Sorry, I had
No,
to
you're
go to
good.
the bathroom really bad.
No worries. I've had to go for like 45 minutes myself, but I'm too enwrapped. I'm too enthralled. So he does the double flip corkscrew right and draws the bow, hits it, lands superhero style, and gives you a smirk. He's egging you on.
I'm not too happy about that.
In this moment, though, he's taken all these hits, and this guy basically in this moment takes a reaction, and he says, "Well, maybe you are worth it." And he produces a flame of blade, much like you saw before, and he cuts his right hand, much like you saw before, and he clenches his fist, and then puts his hands together like this and goes like that, and turns his hands parallel, and you all... this overwhelming force field of energy hits all of you again, and it's so similar. Not as potent as when Chimoth did it to you, but it is this potent force field wave of energy that catches all of you, and you stagger to it. Perhaps Jader rolls, but you all feel this deep force of energy, and he sees you all react to it, and he says, "Ah, so that's why Chimoth wants you dead, and doesn't want to do it herself. Who'd have thought a motley group of 6 would all be brink sensitive? Tell me, can any of you use it?"
Use what?
Oh no, that's so disappointing. I wanted to use it, but it's not worthwhile. It'll kill you where you stand, and then you'll never get to use it, and I'll never get to see it, and then I'll never get to fight you while you use it. Oh, this is no good. You're not worth fighting yet. It's not even worth showing you my brink yet. I do hope we meet again someday, and you know how to use it. Oh, that would make my year. All right, I'll see you when I see you. And he snaps his fingers and erupts into flame and jumps backward and disappears.
People keep running away from us.
Yeah,
Are we scary?
Happening.
Are we scary?
They saw my dismount and they were very scared.
Threatened.
I like how it's like one like Danith just totally has to show him up by going from like he got trampled on his horse. Let me show you how it's really done.
It's pretty brutal.
I'm glad the roles worked out that way. Honestly.
Yeah, I know.
So you just met that complete freak show.
So we never got a name, did we?
He
No.
did not.
Of this
But he has
person,
similar
yeah.
powers.
Yes.
So, the lot of you, in interest of time, will say you collect yourselves, get on your horses, and continue to ride south. And you make it to Krellerin. It is this ancient city built of sandstone. If you've seen Game of Thrones, it's very, marine, almost. It's a very, tropical-looking... buildings of sandstone and limestone and things like that. There's no pyramid, but it's these tall buildings, and there are some reddish buildings as well. It's quite large. Many of you, in fact, all of you have been there before, so that's good. And I would like, so you get to the front gate and you sort of recall Aurello's words that are like, "Don't get seen." And so you're like 50 feet from the front gate, but those words are sort of resounding in your head.
All right. So I asked to Veril, is our deception? Oh no, it's been 3 days. We've been riding for 3 days, so our deception thing's worn off. And
Yeah.
So I suggest to Veril, what was that thing you did earlier back at Freetown? Can you do it again? It worked out pretty well for us. So I'm kind of
sure.
unfamiliar with magic and things. So I'm just asking Veril.
Yeah, what is it? What was Aurello? What was it? What did he say we needed to do in Krellerin?
He said he wants you to meet him at the docks, which are at the back of the city, beyond the walls, down below a cliffside. or like a bluff rather type thing. And actually, let's have Haddock and Danith roll a history check.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm at
I got
12.
a 2.
Okay, Haddock, you seem to recall you lived here for years. Sort of in the underbelly of the city, and you specifically recall a smuggler's route around the city walls that could take you to the ships without being seen.
So I'm gonna relay that part to my party and begin to, without like any like response, make my way to lead there, because like obviously I live there, so like I know the direct route.
Mm-hmm.
I'll follow suit. I don't have a problem with it.
I would like to reach out and ask if it's a safe route.
And then Haddock will say,
I will see you to your safety.
Good enough for me.
Yeah,
I'm
and
coming
Danith
along.
agrees. Danith
Are we
agrees,
still
like,
on-
still feeling touched, when Haddock reached out to him in the burning building, but still doesn't want to like acknowledge it too much. It's like this is like he's keeping it to himself. Doesn't want to show his appreciation too much, but he knows inside he could trust him, so he just goes in without saying anything else.
Are we still on horseback?
Yes, at this moment. But
Okay.
as you round the walls, you do sort of reach a clearing where it's clear that the rest of the route need be done on foot.
Yeah, I dismount my horse.
Did it say where I was hit with the arrow? I know the
It was
arrow
your side.
dissipated.
Your
Okay.
side. And you've healed since then. Oh, wait, no, this was the fire arrow. That's right. Yeah, no, that hurt.
Yeah.
no, bad.
That was bad.
Fire bad.
Flesh
Yeah.
wound, yeah.
Can we sell our horses?
We're not supposed to be seen.
Yeah.
Quick cash, man.
Quick cash. Horses you didn't pay for. That's a real
Exactly.
profit. That's a real
Straight
profit.
cash, homie.
No,
No, I'm kidding. I want to follow right away.
Amazing. So you're able to sort of, get down on this cliffside. There's like a couple scrambling routes you got to do to like get down, but you're all able to make it to the docks pretty okay. And these docks are bustling. I mean, there are lots of tradesmen about, and you're sort of walking, looking around, try not to cause too much attention, and you hear the familiar voice. Ah, you made it. How was your trip? And Aurello comes towards you, and now you see him in full view of daylight. His young, brightly lit hazel eyes smiling at you, and his he's just got great skin. I don't know what to say. He's got really great skin. He's a good-looking
He's a very
dude.
handsome man.
Super handsome guy, like devilishly handsome, with like a light brown hair on his like, it's not golden exactly, but like a light brown hair.
How did you get here before us?
I left before you.
Oh, okay.
We also had a little bit of some run-ins.
What?
slowing
I
us
would like to
down.
ask, Aurello, have you ever run into a red-cloaked fire magic human before?
Does he have glasses? Small, annoying-looking
He
glasses?
did. He did.
Yeah, that'd be Stem. Notorious sorcerer for hire, that one. He'll do pretty much any job, from what I gather, if the coin is right. Nasty fire magic, eh? It's really nasty stuff. Kudos on getting past him. What happened? You finish him off?
What's Brink?
Pardon me?
Tell us
What-
about the brink.
What's Brink?
Oh, did I mention that in the storehouse?
Yeah,
No.
but also Fire Guy did.
Yes.
And somebody else mentioned it to you?
Yes.
All right, yeah, okay. I didn't really want to have to be the one to tell you because it's like a lot, but all right. Well, I'll tell you on my ship. How about that?
Which one's yours?
Ah, I'm glad you asked. And for the first time, you see him smile, and he looks elated. And he turns and points and he points at this. Behind him, you can see a mid-sized vessel with a bright white, currently rolled set of sails and a bright brown exterior, almost matching his skin tone of this devilishly handsome man. And he says, "What do you think? I know she's not very large, but she's one of the fastest ships on the sea, and she's designed to be manned by a crew of one. Well, assuming that the crew is one capable person. Allow me to introduce you to my pride and joy, the Golden Razor."
Why are you helping us?
We can get to that too.
I'm standing and admiring the ship, and I say to him, well, my mentor always said it's not about how big it is, it's about how you use it.
And Arello looks at you, and he's like,
Smart mentor.
and he
I
says,
don't get it.
he says, "All right, well, we should really set sail. We've got, God, it's getting hot in here. We got no time to waste, as the solstice is fast approaching. I figure we'll come back to Kastash as the last nation to convince of the impending troubles. You're clearly not safe here at the moment. So, on board." And he lays down a little, like, board that you can all walk on. You know, you get up into the ship, this Golden Razor. It's a gorgeous ship. He unfurls off the cleats, or rather, he unties the cleats onto the dock. He unfurls the sails. It catches the wind. He mans the helm, and you begin to back out of the slip and into the open ocean. And he turns to you and he says, "You know, it begs the question, where would you like to go first? We have to do them all, so I figure the pick's all yours. Salstroke, the heart of the great empire of Katya the First. Releron, the battle-hungry home to massive jungle landscapes. Or Dwome, the ancient land riddled with castles of old. Where to, my friends?"
They're all going to present their own unique challenge, that's for sure.
Certainly.
Is there a way that the wind favors?
He says, "On the Golden Razor, the wind's wherever we need it to be." He says
all right.
"baby" at the end. It's like a little much.
Veral, do you have any premonition as to, from your meditation, as to where we should go first?
No, but Velarhand's pretty close, and I've been there before because I'm from Saltstroke, so maybe that's a good spot.
That happens to be where I'm from. I wouldn't mind paying a visit.
Also, yeah, I should mention, metaing a little bit, but truly, I have not, like, I'm purposefully giving you this truly open world choice.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think Valorant is, well, it's a big bustling city. We got some interest there, some connections there. So it makes sense to me to head that way if we have, two people who can show us around and, know the ins and outs.
I will follow Veral wherever he goes.
That is loyalty right there.
I have to go to the bathroom. Stay here, though.
I'm just gonna get quiet and start grooming myself again.
So he says, Velarhand and Salstroke? Is that our decision?
That's us. Away we go.
Well, it's a shorter ride than the other ones, that much I can tell you. And he, the wind catches the sails. He begins to sail south towards Velarhand. And after a while, once you're into the open waters, he looks at you, and he comes down from, the top where the wheel is, the mast, or the whatever, helm. And he's like, "All right, everybody gather around." And he sort of beckons you all in your various corners to come around and sit with him. And he sits down and he says, "Let me tell you about the Brink." And that is where we will end episode 1 of campaign 2 of
I knew that was
Speedrunners and Dragons.
The cliffhanger, the hook.
Nice
Everybody's
job,
Wow.
guys. You guys all were
Wow.
great. You were all great.
That was a really good start. I love that.
Yeah.
You
I
guys
still
did
have dirt
great.
in my mouth from that dismount, but other than that,
Okay, Danith will show you how it's done. There could be some
Goblin.
lessons later on.
No, you guys were all great. Everybody had tons of really fun, genuine character moments. Everybody's RPing really well. The combat was fun, fast. Everything's great. Yeah, everybody, kudos to the players, and thank you to all of you for watching and sticking around. The next episode of this, I believe, is not in 2 weeks as would usually be scheduled, but instead, due to just a million things happening in my life and for many of us at that time, the next episode will be June 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern, our normal time, and then it'll be every other week after that. But June 8th is our next episode. If you missed any of tonight, you can catch it tomorrow on youtube.com/Speedrunners Dragons. Maybe the next day since I have a final exam, but we'll see. So youtube.com/Speedrunners Dragons. And at the end of Speedrunners and Dragons, for those of you who are new, we like to do plugs for our players. There are 7 of us, so we're going to try to go a little more briskly. So because this is the first episode, sort of sum up who you are, what it is you do on your stream quickly, and then like what you've been doing of late. We'll go in order on the thing. So Dangers, take it away.
Yo, my name is Dangers. For the majority of the first campaign, I was like a Fall Guys streamer, taking a break from speedrunning, but we're basically right back and ready for action. So what I do on my channel is a lot of Mario speedrunning. I kind of got known for Super Mario Odyssey, but we're delving into a little bit of Galaxy as well, and a little variety sprinkled in here and there. So that's what you can expect. I actually did get SGDQs coming up in a couple of months, and I'm going to be showcasing Super Mario Odyssey's Talk at 2% at that event. That starts on July 5th? 4th.
I think on the
Okay.
4th.
July
No?
4th. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So it's the July 4th. I think I'm like one of the first couple days, but yeah, GDQ is always something to look forward to. So yeah,
Wonderful.
that's what I
Danny.
do.
What's up? I'm Danny. I am mostly an Ocarina of Time streamer. Although I have been branching out also. I have been working on Ocarina of Time glitchless categories for a while. I've been set a few records in that the past few weeks, and I am looking by the end of the year, hopefully, to try to do a 3D Zelda glitchless marathon. So I'm looking to learn all of the glitchless categories in all the 3D Zelda games. Currently working on Majora's Mask, which is the first one that I have tried other than OOT, and it is awesome so far. So check out my first run soon.
Sweet. Kung Fu Fruit Cup.
Awesome. Hi, Fu. This is Pixel. It's one of the 3 animals that kind of roam around the stream. Yeah, I stream full time. I'm also an interviewer with Games Done Quick, so you'll see me doing pre-show, daily recaps, and interviews all throughout any main stage TDQ event. I also have a hotfix show, just like adef. So that's once a month on the TDQ channel, and it's all about like breaking down glitches. It's kind of like a speed walk / tutorial / just like in-depth look at more glitch stuff with different games. So the next episode's June 12th, and then I also post stuff on Instagram and YouTube sometimes, and it's cool.
Nice. Bobby, the Blacktastic.
Well, I mean, since you already made the introduction, I guess you can go on to fan. But my name is the Blacktastic. You can just call me Bobby. I do a whole bunch of Mega Man X, and Castlevania speedruns on my channel, and I also am probably an early riser compared to a lot of these folks. So 11 a.m. Eastern for the morning streams. I also am a showrunner, hosting Super Boss Brothers alongside Big John, and I also produce a lot of fighting game and speedrunner events. So you can catch all of that on my channel.
Fant.
Yeah, hello everybody, I'm Vance. I'm primarily now randomizer and variety. I've been doing a lot of Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time randomizers. I'm actually in 2 tournaments right now. Blitz 1 weekend tournaments, or 1 week tournament for OT, which I'm in the Sweet 16 on. I've made the qualifier,
Very
won my
nice.
first match. I'm in Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup, where I am currently undefeated. I won my group, and now I'm on to my next match there. So, constantly doing competitive randomizers whenever they show up. And yeah, the occasional casual contents, when I'm not doing randomizers. But also, I'm going to be on the speedrun realm. I'm going to be on the hotfix this Thursday for the first step. Me, Jay Hobbs, Keyseron, and Rebel Watt are going to be running through Left 4 Dead 2, all the campaigns.
Ooh.
as fast as we can.
I love
for the
Left 4
first
Dead
step.
2. Such a good game.
No, that would be something to look forward to this week.
Nice. And
yeah, that's me.
last but certainly not least, DGR Dave.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dave. I'm really bad with introductions. So, I play a lot of Mario stuff. Yes, and I primarily stick to Nintendo things, but I do occasionally branch out into other things. But yeah, if you like Nintendo, if you like Mario, you might enjoy my content on Twitch and or YouTube. Yeah,
Excellent.
so I'll leave it at that.
Wonderful. Short and sweet. I love it. All the rest of you, horrible work. Absolutely terrible.
Fair.
I know.
No. Thank you everybody for joining us this evening. Again, I do really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll do the YouTube outro. Hello. This has been youtube.com/Speedrunners Dragons. If you're not subscribed, what? Please subscribe. And I don't know, click that ring-a-ling-ding-a-ling bell. And
It should be like over there.
yeah, it's over here. Definitely click that bell and stay tuned and maybe catch us live sometime. Twitch.tv/adef. All links to everything in the description. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Bye.